There we go. Okay, I think we got it going on. Let me get set up here. What's up, everybody? Let me sign in here. What's happening, guys? Oh no, hang on. I gotta confirm it's me. Yes, it's me. Okay, I'm back. Oh, good grief. Google, just let me work. Oh man, I'm gonna have to check another text as well. Let's see. To be honest, I'm at the point where the scales are falling. I've been there, my friend. I've been there. I have a Master's of Arts in Religion from Westminster Theological Seminary. And I was a pastor for several years. And intellectually, I got to the point where intellectually I couldn't believe anymore. I just couldn't believe. Finished watching one of your... Oh, just finished watching... Oh, on YouTube. Nice, Johnny. Thank you. Through the SBC, yeah. So I was a pastor for several years, and when I understood intellectually that Christianity is not true, I couldn't continue to preach what I no longer believed. What's up, Texas Trav, my friend? Thank you, dude. And so I had no choice. I had to get out. Sorry, I'm getting set up over here as well. I'm streaming on YouTube as well. I had to get out. I couldn't continue to preach the things I no longer believed. NOLA Theological Seminary. I've got a good friend that went there, and he's a pastor in, I want to say, Oklahoma now. We haven't spoken in years because, you know, when you leave Christianity, especially when you were a pastor and you get out of Christianity, you get out of ministry, and people know that you no longer believe, they really don't. If they were, you know, a personal acquaintance, they don't want anything to do with you, really. I've found, like, people just kind of drop you because it scares them. You know, it scares them. I feel bad, like I gotta apologize to my parishioners. Yeah, former, right. Yeah, I know exactly what you're going through. I know exactly what you're going through, and it's scary. It's scary getting out. I mean, it was my livelihood. It was everything to me. It really was. It was everything to me. It was my family, my community, my it was my life. And so when I lost a lot of friends when I left the church. Right. A lot more peace after. That's exactly right. Because at first it is turmoil at first. I mean, at first when I got out, it was a what's up, Bustin? It was a painful process. I mean, there was a lot of suffering that I had to go through when I got out because it's an existential crisis. I mean, it's an absolute flip of everything that you know and do and care about and love. I mean, it's all being flipped over on its head. And so it's just this existential crisis. And it was extremely painful. I lost family members. I lost a marriage. Hey, Doopster, what's up, my friend? I lost my income. I lost everything. And I had to build back up. I had to start over. Not only with income and life and all that, but I mean, philosophically, existentially, I had to start over. I had to find out, who am I really apart from all of this stuff, all of these beliefs. Who am I apart from all these things? Because for so long, for my life, it's been my identity, like identified with Jesus, identified in Christ, and so coming out of that, it's just an existential crisis. You have to literally start over in every way, shape, or form, in every meaning of that word. How do you know you don't need something when you've never experienced it before? Because it's impossible to experience. The experience that you have of this God, whichever God you believe in, I don't know who you believe in, whether it's Allah or Zeus or Yahweh or Jesus or whoever. It's your emotions, it's hype, it's desire, it's hope. And all these things well up inside you, and you convince yourself to believe that you have this experience that you're having with this deity out there that you can't see or hear or touch or smell or speak with on a real level. It's all imaginary, and you're imagining it all, but it's real to you. Like, you have this experience. I'm not saying you don't have an experience, but it's just a one-sided experience that has been produced inside your mind. It's been created by you, and all of the emotions and hype and desire. Desire has such a big part to play in it. I mean, when you want it so badly, oh please, Jesus, speak to me, God, I want to experience you, and you're open to that, and you're opening everything up to that, right? Well, that's a very, very powerful thing. Your mind is a very powerful thing, and all the emotions are very powerful, and all that desire is powerful. So you convince yourself unconsciously a lot of times. I don't think people are always lying. I don't think everyone's lying saying that they have an experience with God, right? I think they've convinced themselves in their imagination. They've created this real illusion, this imagination that feels real to them, and they think they've experienced a God. But you can put that God to the test any day of the week, any minute, any hour, and that God will never show up if you put them to a real test. Show me God right now by doing this, right? Like Isaiah used to. And Elijah, when Elijah would put God to the test, right? Oh, we're not supposed to do that. Well, why not? Why not do it? And you're not going to get an answer. There's no such thing as sin either. You're free. You don't have to think about those things. You don't have to take up your yeah, that's what I was just I saw that comment. I know I'm missing a lot of comments, but sins forgiven, amen. Well, there's no such thing as sins. You can let all that go. You can be free from all that nonsense. You can be free from thinking that you are sinful and that you're sinning against a God and all those kinds of things you can be free of. None of that is relevant to your life. It isn't. It's all belief. It's all beliefs in the beliefs of ancient human beings. You're believing the beliefs. Actually, you're not. You really don't know what they really believed. It's all, hold on, let me check this. Okay. It's all, you're believing what you believe to be the beliefs of ancient human beings. Like, you're believing your own interpretations or the preacher's interpretations of what the beliefs of ancient human beings were. It's just belief. Prove there is no sin. Why do I have to prove there's no sin? Prove that there is sin. Prove that there's a God. I mean, the burden of proof is on you, right? But all of that is irrelevant to me. I can prove that there's no sin in the fact that it has nothing to do with me. It's absolutely irrelevant. Sin has nothing to do with me because it's meaningless. It has nothing to do with it. It's absolutely irrelevant. That's proof enough. It's proof of not enough because I can say anything, do anything I want without some consequences from a God. I mean, it's what proof do you need? The burden of proof. I mean, I can blaspheme any God that I want to, and they're never going to show up, ever. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being honest, and I'm responding to the comments that I'm seeing. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Please don't hear me being disrespectful or rude. That's not my goal. That's not my aim Well, goddamn, Rick. I am just being honest. I'm just being honest. And if I can help in any way break down that bondage and help break you free from the bondage of religion, because it is bondage. It just produces and creates and perpetuates the illusion of separation and the illusion that you need something outside of yourself, and you don't. You don't need anything outside of yourself. Not really, not truly, because you are existence. That's what you are. You are existence. What could existence need outside of itself? What is outside of existence? Nothing. Nothing is outside of existence. So what could it need? So, that was a long intro. So how's everybody doing? What brought us into existence, Rick? Well, that's an irrelevant question that you're asking me to produce an answer out of what can only be imagination. And for one, you're asking what brought us into existence. That is a loaded question that is emerging out of your presuppositions, right? What brought us? Why is there something out there that had to bring us and brought us from where into creation, right? Into existence, right? Where did we come from if something brought us into existence, right? There is no outside of existence. There is existence, period. So you don't need a what or a who. You don't come from anywhere, and you don't go anywhere. You are. I am. I exist. Hey, Tasha and Austin, what's up, my friends? I am. I exist. I am here now in this present moment. Who do I need? What do I need to bring me into existence when I am existence? I am right here, right now. I am. That's all I need, and that's not a need. That is just existence. Do you hope for an afterlife even though no evidence? No, because that would require me believing in an afterlife, and the concept of an afterlife as well is irrelevant to me in this present moment. I am in this moment, right here, right now. The future is just imagination. It doesn't exist right now. It's just imaginative thought happening in the present moment. So to think of the afterlife, right? What happens after death? Well, you're not experiencing death right now in this moment, so it's utterly irrelevant, and you can't answer that question, and no one can answer that question, right? What happens after death? So for me to hope in something that happens after death would just be an irrelevant hope. It would be imagination. It would be belief. And so I am here right now in this moment as existence, and I don't have to believe anything to exist right here, right now. I don't have to believe anything. Belief is irrelevant. If you are fully in this moment, right, aware of this moment, because you're always fully in this moment, you just don't realize it. You don't have the awareness of this moment. If you're fully aware that this is all that there is right here, right now, and everything exists in this moment, this present moment, then everything else is irrelevant. Thank you for the rose, Melly. There is no relevancy to the question of God. There's no relevancy to the question of what happens after death. What's up, Bo? Thank you, my friend. There's all of those questions become meaningless. They have no meaning whatsoever. And they would require some belief. And belief means that you are not present. That's what belief means. Belief means that you're not aware of the present moment. You're not fully aware of what is, because you have to believe something out there. You have to believe something other than what is right here existing in this moment, right? That's what belief is. So belief, if you believe anything, that tells me that you are not aware of this moment, this all-encompassing existence of a moment. You are not aware of that moment. You have to believe something, and to believe it, you're not aware. And it's irrelevant for me. It's absolutely irrelevant. What's up, Clint? What's up, my friend? Johnny feels sorry for me. Well, you shouldn't. There's nothing to feel sorry for. You're relevant. Bustin' and Tasha, you guys know what's up. You know what's going on. Rick's not the most clear-headed person on TikTok. Thank you, Bo. I appreciate that. Why are you instigating for, bro? What is that? What am I instigating? Somebody asked what's in this cup. What's up, Trav? Thank you, my friend. I think I saw a comment that said, it's faith, not belief. But no, the way you're meaning faith, you mean belief. Because faith is letting go. Belief is holding on, hanging on to something other than this moment right here. This spontaneous present moment, Jerry. Faith is letting go of those beliefs, right? Faith is just letting go and trusting existence, trusting yourself as existence. That's what faith is. Belief is hanging on with dear might. Please be true. Please, I need something other than this right here, right now. I need something out there. I need a God. I need dogma. I need beliefs. I need somebody to tell me who I am. I need somebody to tell me what to believe. I need somebody to tell me what to do and what to say and how to think. That's belief, right? A lot of people say faith when they mean belief because that's exactly what they mean. Faith is letting go of all of that. Faith is letting go and saying, I don't need any of that. I don't need to believe. It's all irrelevant. I don't need it. What is belief to existence? What does existence have to believe? Nothing at all. Needing something to cling on to when times get tough. Exactly, Trap. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Watch Billy Graham. No, thank you, my friend. I have plenty of times. No, thanks. Who doesn't like a good Klingon? Faith, I hear fact while misunderstanding how facts work. You scared of Billy Graham? Look, man, I've got a master's degree from Westminster Theological Seminary. I've been there. I've done that. I've been a preacher, a pastor, a minister for years and years. I've been there, done that. You don't know me. Just string on TikTok. No, I'm stringing on TikTok and YouTube, actually. Bustin'. Where the collection plate at? It's on rickquestionsthings.com. Oh, yeah, you can see the fear in my eyes, can't you? It's funny when they say that because they're projecting themselves onto me. Like they're full of fear. So therefore they claim that I'm full of, they're like, oh, I see fear in his eyes, or I see sadness in his eyes. You know, all those people that say that same stuff over and over and over. That is a fear mechanism. That they feel sad, so they say, I see sadness in his eyes, or they feel the fear, right? That I may be right. They know that they doubt. They're just ashamed to admit it. And so they say, oh, I see the fear in his eyes. And they're projecting their own fear onto me, hoping that I'm afraid somehow. But I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I have nothing to fear. I have absolutely nothing to fear. Oh, where's Donnie Darko at? I love Donnie Darko. So millions of people are wrong. You know that the entire human race was wrong about the sun revolving around the earth for a really long time? Millions of people believing something. I mean, there are equally amounts of people that believe Islam. Are they wrong? By your logic, they're not wrong either. So I'm not going to say what I want to say about that. Because I understand. I understand where you're coming from. You're totally confused. You're totally programmed. You're caught up. And you can't think outside of that box. You're totally boxed in. And you can't break free of that programming. I know. I understand. I get it. So sometimes I want to lash out. And then I catch myself and I go, man, I understand. I get it. Yeah, they're brainwashed. I get where this guy, Johnny's coming from. I mean, I know. I've been there. Trying to make that degree worth it. Yeah, everybody go to rickquestionsthings.com, by the way. I do have, I write on there, so you can read all that I've written about coming out. Some of these comments are hilarious. Coming out of Christianity, my intellectual journey out. The last post I posted, I think it was yesterday, frequently asked questions. I get asked these questions all the time on the lives especially. Do you believe in God? So I answered that question, and they're all like snapshot, really brief answers. Do you meditate? I get asked that a lot. Why did you leave Christianity? I'll read some of these for you. What do you believe? Do you have any book recommendations? What happens when we die? See, I've already been asked a lot of these tonight already. Do you believe in God? So I said, I don't believe in some entity out there separate from existence that supposedly created all that we see, right? Whether deistic or theistic. I don't believe in any of that. There's no reason to. It's irrelevant. So if that's what you mean by the word God, then no, I don't. I don't believe in God. God in that sense is irrelevant. It's just a belief. It's just a belief. And you're telling me what you believe, right? When you tell me who God is, it's just a belief. There's no truth. There's no knowledge in that. It's just belief. 100% purely belief. I exist right here, right now. All that exists is this moment. This is existence. Existence is. And I'm not separate from existence. Neither are you. Separation is an illusion. And because existence right here, right now is, and all there is, and because separation is an illusion, then I am existence right here, right now. This is my answer on my blog. Existence is equals I am. Oh man, I missed it. Thank you, Trav. Existence is equals I am. So when I say I am, existence is. That's what it is. I love that, dude. And you can say that too. You can say I am. You're not separate from the universe. You're not separate from existence. There is only existence, which makes you existence itself. You can simply say I am. And a lot of people think that's blasphemy. I am. How can I say I am? There's only God that says I am. Well, no, that's not true. You believe that. You believe that. You can say I am because you are existence. We know that all that exists is right here, right now. The past doesn't exist. It exists in the present moment as your present thoughts. So that doesn't exist. Right here, this present moment is all there is. Existence right here, right now. And that's what you are. Oh, bustin'. Dude, I got to tell you. So bustin' with the waves, one of my absolute favorite analogies is that we are like waves of the ocean, right? Thank you, Duran. I live on an island. I surf. I look at the water. I see the waves. The waves aren't separate from the ocean, right? They are the ocean. Every wave is just the ocean waving. And so there is the ocean of being, and we are the waves of the ocean of being, which makes us the ocean of being itself. It makes us existence. Dude, I don't put any stock in dreams, right? I mean, dreams are just like your own subconscious and stuff, but from what I know. But the other night I had a dream, and this girl came up to me and gave me a new analogy. And then, well, I'll tell you this first, a new analogy. And she came up to me and said, we are all like pages. And I woke up and I was like, oh, damn, we are. We're like pages of a book, which makes us the book. The pages aren't separate from the book. The pages are the book, and the book is the pages. I mean, they coexist. They make each other up. They are the same. We're like pages of a book. But Bustin' and Tasha, I told you guys what's going on up here tonight. So I was sitting there just like kind of enjoying this, and I started thinking, man, it's like a painting. Another analogy is like a painting. You look at a painting and like, let's say you look at the great wave back here, right? And what do you see? You see, if I tell you to look deeply, like, what do you see in this painting, right? You might say, I see a boat. I see water. I see waves. I see the sky. I see some people in the boat. And I say, no. Look deeply. What do you see in the paint? What do you see? What do you really see? And you look deeply, right? You look deeper and you look and you go, okay, wait. I see some ripples in the water. No. Look deeply. Look deeply. What do you see? And what you really see is paint. I mean, that's really what you see. You don't really see a boat. You don't really see waves. You don't really see the water. That's paint. It's all paint. Paint is making those forms of images, and we interpret those things as separate things like waves and boats, right? And we call them waves and boats, and we separate them out from each other. But that's just, it's all paint. It's all the painting. And so if you look deeply at reality, you look at everything around you, right? What do you see? Well, I see me, I see you, I see Alan Watts on this mug, I see Alan Watts' mug on this mug, I see paper, I see books, I see a computer. No, look deeply. What do you see? Look deeply. What do you really see? Well, let's see, I see a microphone. No, look deeply, really deeply. And what you really see is energy. It's all energy. It's all energy taking forms, right? This is energy. I am energy. You are energy. It's the energy of the cosmos. It's all energy. If you look deeply, all of that distinction, all of that separation melts away. That illusion just melts away. And all you see is the energy. It's all paint, right? It's all paint. It's all energy. It's the cosmic energy of the universe. It's cosmic energy is what it is. Thank you, Trap. And if you look deeply at reality, deeply at existence, that's what you find. That's what it is. It's all paint. It's all energy taking forms, right? You look at the painting, it's just paint making the form of a boat, and we separate it out. Oh, there's a boat. Okay, I'm going to call that a boat. And then paint makes the form of the waves. I'm going to call that a wave, right? Well, that's just human concept. That's our language. We're separating it out from each other when it's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. It's all paint. So when you look at reality, you look at existence, everything around you, and you go, I'm going to call this a microphone. I'm separating it out from everything else, right? And I'm going to call this a mug. But if you look deeply, what it all really is the same stuff. It's the same energy. It's all cosmic energy. It's all paint. It's all paint. It's all the painting. TW, dude, you're just a troll. Bro, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt from rickquestions.com. TW's out. He's banished. Austin, I just saw your message. Enough to break down that illusion and show me a new analogy. Hey, Duran. Yeah, I will in a little while, my friend. So I'm just going to talk for a little while, and then what I'll do, actually, what I'm going to do, how long have I been on? 30 minutes? That hasn't felt like 30 minutes. Thank you, Duran. I appreciate that. It hasn't felt like 30 minutes. Time is an illusion. All that exists is now. Right here, right now is all that exists. Oh, man. Good News Art left a comment that said, people hate the truth and love their sin. But what Good News Art doesn't know is that he's afraid. He's just afraid. He's scared. And so he believes in sin, and he believes that there's this judge out there that is watching his sin, right? He believes he deserves hell. He doesn't really believe that. But he would say, I believe I deserve, all those kinds of things. Yeah, Duran, exactly. Sheep, right, Trav? Where did you get? I'm going to bed early. Always good to see you, Rick. Oh man, Bo, I love you. Thank you for being here, at least for a little while. I know I usually go live on Friday nights, and last night we had some stuff going that I just couldn't. Oh, it does look like Ouroboros, doesn't it? No, it's an INSO. Same concept. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. Bo, I appreciate you, my friend. I love you. Have a good night. Oh, I was going to say, I usually go live on Fridays, but I had a lot of stuff going on last night, and I couldn't go live, so I'm live tonight instead. Thank you, Gollum. Like, why the hell do we need a purpose? Why can't we just experience? Right, 111? Exactly. Because, again, if you are fully invested in this moment, not even invested, I shouldn't say that, fully aware, like if you are fully conscious of this moment, aware of this moment, what purpose is there? Because purpose implies I'm going somewhere. But when you are fully aware of this moment, you have nowhere to go. You have nothing to do. You have nowhere to go. Now things happen. You watch the happening take place. Like I say, I have nothing to do and I'm drinking tea, right? That's a happening. I'm speaking words. That's a happening. It's the happening of existence, the happening of the universe. The universe is happening as all these things in this present moment right here, right now. If you want to call that purpose, that could be purpose, but this purpose is just a word. It's a human concept. But if you are here right now, aware of this moment, purpose is irrelevant too. That whole conversation is irrelevant. Really, everything becomes irrelevant except being, existing. I am, right? Just being is the only thing that matters. It's the only purpose there is. It's the only relevancy that there is. I am right here, right now, in this moment, fully in this moment, absolutely aware. Being absolutely aware of this moment is enough. It's all that you need. That's what religion keeps you from. I say religion is bondage because it keeps you from that awakening. It keeps you from understanding that, grasping that, experiencing that. If you take a few steps back and question things, it's laughable, it's outrageous. I know. It is. It really is. Oh, what's up, Paige? Long time no see. It really is. It's hilarious because everything becomes irrelevant. Everything except here, right now, this moment. What more is there than this existence right here, right now, in this present moment? And if you can sit with that in awareness, you can watch all of your fears and anxieties and everything just like wash away. It just melts away because in this moment you are one with everything that exists. Not with everything that exists, but as everything that exists. You are existence itself because you realize that you're the same stuff as everything else around you, that you've perceived to be stuff and things. They're really not stuff and things. It is all the same energy. It's all the cosmic energy of the universe. It's the cosmic energy of existence. It's all the ocean of being waving in this form and that form and this form. It's all paint making this form and that form. It's all pages of the same book. It's all the book. That's what we are. We're the book. We're the painting. We're the ocean of being. We are existence. We're the universe. We're the Tao. We're Brahman. However you want to put it. We're God. If you want to use that word, which I don't use that word. I don't like that word. And Aaliyah, that's why I don't use the word God very often, because it has so much baggage and people buck at the word God. They're like, did he just say we are God? Because they think of God as some super powerful being out there somewhere, right? He exists out there watching us, watching our moves, hearing our thoughts, judging us. We have to live up to his standards. Like that's what you think of when you hear the word God. And that God doesn't exist. That God does not exist. Existence is. There's nothing outside of existence. How could there be something outside of existence? Existence is all that there is. And the past doesn't exist. It's not a part of existence. The future doesn't exist. It's not a part of existence. Right here, right now, this moment is existence. Everything that is the universe, is existence itself. The energy of the cosmos. So what else is going on? I see a bunch of same old comments. Dan the man says existence is not everything. Well, what else could there be? What could there be outside of existence? What else could there be? Yeah, lots of them. Bustin'. Bustin', I almost called you biscuits. What else could there be? There's more than our reality. Well, that is a belief, Dan. That is a belief that you're telling me. I'm talking about experience right here, right now. Biscuits. I'm talking about experience right here, right now. What are you experiencing? You're experiencing this moment, nothing else. You're not experiencing another reality. You're not experiencing anything outside of this moment. You're not experiencing any of that. So what you're telling me, and I'm not being rude or disrespectful at all. I'm interacting with your comment. That's it. So and I don't mind the comment. I think it's a good comment, and I appreciate it. It's a good comment. It's different from the rest. So thank you for that comment. But what you're telling me is a belief, right? There is nothing that you're experiencing outside of this moment right now. Nothing. You're not experiencing some other reality, some other dimension. You're not experiencing the past. You're not experiencing the future. You're not experiencing something outside of existence. You're not experiencing anything outside of this moment. And to say that there is anything outside of this moment, which is existence itself, is a belief. You would just be stating a belief, right? Ali, it is a belief. I mean, that is absolutely the definition of a belief. Hey, what's up, my mental? How you doing, my friend? I know I'm missing a lot of comments. Trap. Well, this has been a good 40 minutes, I think, so far. Had some good conversation and discussion. What I might have to do in a second, I think. Good, man. I want to speak to you so. Okay, Duran, hold on. Because I think what I'm going to do, excuse me, I'm busting. I think I'm going to, I guess I'll go ahead and take guests on this stream. A lot of times I like to knock off of this stream and start a new one for guests because TikTok, when I download my lives, when I have guests on, it freezes my live. But it doesn't matter. Ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. Well, that's just a belief as well. I've been there. I've done that. I have a Master's of Arts in Religion from Westminster Theological Seminary. I believed wholeheartedly, genuine, sincere, absolutely sincere and genuine. And I believed in the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. The whole Judeo-Christian Islamic religious system is bondage, and it isn't true. There are truths to be found in it. I'm not saying there aren't truths to be found in it, but it isn't true. It isn't the truth. It's a fabrication, in other words. It's beliefs. Well, Leah, if you see demons, then tell one to appear on this live so that we all see them, because we can't accept what you claim. I mean, it's not a common experience. Nobody's seeing demons because demons they aren't real. They don't exist. But look, if you can manifest a demon right here on this live behind me, I will start believing in demons. So you have my open mind right here, right now. Yeah, just have faith in demons. You have, I did my undergrad at Northwestern State University in Louisiana, and our mascot was the Demons, and I was a part of the college church group, in my church, and we were literally called the Demons for Christ. We were the Demons for Christ. Yeah, I mean, if you can tell a demon to show up behind me, then I will believe. I mean, if you can tell Jesus to show up behind me, or Muhammad, I don't know who you believe in. I'm assuming you're a Christian, but it doesn't matter to me. If you can, what Tasha it was, if you can tell any of them to show up right here in this live, I will wholeheartedly, I will admit that I'm wrong, and I will believe. Well, I won't have to believe. Let me correct that. What am I saying? I won't have to believe anything. I will know at that point, because I will be able to touch them and hear them and smell them, because they will be real for me at that point. But as long as I have to believe it, well, I'm not believing the beliefs of other ancient human beings. I mean, that's just, it's irrelevant to me. Why would I do that? The government already told you they're real. I don't think you really believe that. Being on fire. Right. All right, let's see. So what I'll do... All right, Duran, I'm going to bring you up. What is this? Multi-guest competitions. What in the world is that? I'm going to bring you up. And then I may have to drop the live and then redo another live if it affects my live. Last time I brought a guest on, I froze up. Yeah, what's up, my friend?
Good. Like I said, I've been reading your, not this show, but previous shows I've been listening to.
Oh, nice.
You're a very interesting individual.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you some questions.
Uh-huh.
People, they're brainwashed since birth.
Yeah.
And since they're they learn
Jet,
from
what's up?
others.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Your voice is gone.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I was just mouthing, Jet, what's up, my friend? I'm going to react to a couple of comments here and there, but just ignore that.
That's what it is. They're so confident with their answers because they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And there are some of these people are not ready to wake up, even if
Right.
they are awake.
Yeah.
They're like I said, we are living here together.
Yeah.
We're loving beings. And these people are all the comments are repent and all that. I'm like, how do you know that?
Right. It's a belief. Yeah.
Who are you?
Uh-huh.
And saying, oh, if you're a Christian, you go to heaven. Have you been there?
Right.
No. And if you don't agree with them, they argue with you. And they're not only argue with you, but they're always right about the scriptures.
Yeah.
The imagination.
Right.
Like this. I'm not saying I'm not insulting anybody.
Sure, no, I never want to do that either.
Yeah, it's their own belief, but I'm saying just step out of your comfort zone and say, who is this invisible man? This invisible thing that will come and heal us.
Right.
It's all imagination.
It is.
They make themselves feel so good. This invisible thing is gonna come and fix everything.
Yeah, right.
They feel so good, and then when you don't believe it, they're like, "You're gonna go to hell, or you're gonna go to heaven."
Yeah.
If you don't believe,
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Like this, who are you to tell us, that?
Yeah, sure. Because at that point, what they're doing is just telling us what they believe. And why do you believe that? Well, you believe that because someone else believes that. Because nobody's come to their own conclusions about that. Thank you, my mental. Nobody's come to their own conclusions and said, "Oh, there is sin, there is judgment, Jesus, all that stuff." Right? It's all you believe it because someone else has believed it, and someone else has believed it, and yeah.
And then they some of them are like, I seen God, I seen Jesus, I seen that. I'm like, man, you have a brain. Your brain makes it's an imagination.
Right.
And sometimes your brain can trick you to believe things that they don't exist.
Yeah, sure, exactly. A lot of times, at night, sometimes there have been times I look out my window at night and I think I see somebody, and it turns out it's like a limb or something. Because my mind is tricking me. The mind's a very powerful thing.
You look outside, you're like, oh my God, you're like, wow, I think it's Jesus, but then it's an airplane.
Right. Yeah, it's making shapes out of clouds, No, it's just a cloud. It's not a rabbit. No, it looks like a rabbit. No, it's a cloud. It's a cloud. Your brain is saying it looks like a rabbit.
The best one I like is whenever they're outside and then the eagle comes or some exotic animal comes and oh, it's a sign from God,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Right. And it's just, and I get it, man. I understand. I really do. I understand where they're coming from because I believed wholeheartedly as well, So I know that feeling. I know that whole mental process that's going on, right? With the belief and how strong it is. So I understand, but they just, like you said, they're just not. There is a programming that has gone on, and it's gone on for their entire life, more than likely for most of them. There's a lot of programming to go, and programming is hard to deprogram. It really is. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. It's not really a program. It is a program, but it's like I said, people on the live. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure.
They are miserable, and
Yeah.
they want you to be miserable.
Right. Misery loves company. Yeah, exactly.
Love that attention. And
That's
when
right.
you don't give them the attention, they start attacking you.
Yeah.
And when they start attacking you, they because it's not only them. There are others that follow the same narrative.
Yeah.
The same, how do you call the fake reality?
Yeah.
That they also started to believe everything.
Uh-huh.
And then they start judging you.
Yeah, exactly.
That part is what I don't like, because if you're like a human being, we are loving beings. But how come if you're a person that you love God, if you do believe, let's say, isn't God is love?
Yeah.
Why are you hating?
Right. Why are you being so mean and rude and attacking? Right. Yeah, exactly.
Judging? Why, whatever. What is it gonna benefit you? Even if they believe or not, what is it gonna do for you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, right.
You're wasting your time. But in my opinion, like it happened to me whenever I wasn't raised like this. I was raised to believe, to do this, to do that. If
Yeah.
you do that, the devil will come. You're going to hell.
Right.
I'm like, how do you know? And then when I started asking questions to myself, I'm like, something is wrong here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the existence, we as human beings, me, you, we are here right now. Why should I die and go to hell or heaven? I'm here.
Yeah, right. What does that have to do with me right here in this moment?
If I leave, I leave.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make any difference.
Right. And no one knows. That's the thing, is that I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I get it. But it's wild how we believe something that we have no experience of, right? So we believe because maybe a book tells us, or the preacher tells us, or someone tells us that there is something after death, right? And it's a heaven or a hell. And if you believe the right things, you're going to go to one of those, you're going to go to heaven. If you don't believe the right things, you're going to go to hell. Thank you, Rogue. If you are on the right team, you're going to go to heaven. If you're not, you're going to go to hell. All those things, right? Well, how do you know? Have you ever died? Have you ever experienced death, right? And some people will say, well, no, but yeah.
No offense, like I said, they don't, because people, they don't understand.
Yeah, sure.
They're not ready to wake up.
Right.
But when they say amen, it's actually, that's evil. Amen ra, that's
yeah.
that's God of evil.
That's
so every
fun.
time they pray, they do whatever they're doing, whatever religion you are.
Yeah.
As soon as you say amen, that's actually evil.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I've never heard that.
That's it. It's a God of evil.
That's funny. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
Like I said, I question everything.
Yeah.
But every day I learn everything new. But
Yeah.
these people are so, I don't know, like you said, it's like maybe it's a programming issue.
Yeah.
But I think it's in their brain because, they want to feel special. So they imagine this imaginary person or whatever, spirit or whatever, he's going to come and save the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's scary. Yeah, it's scary for people to think. Yeah, it's scary for people to think that doesn't exist because it's been a part of, I understand. It was a part of my life. It was my everything. It was my identity. And so when, I always tell people, I was the most genuine, sincere Christian I've ever known. I really was. I lived and breathed it, man. I sold my belongings like I walked the walk. I moved away to, thank you, man. I moved and went to seminary. I tried to learn everything I could. I learned Hebrew. I learned Greek so that I could read the scriptures in the original languages, and I just wanted to know this God. And eventually, knowing so much, I couldn't believe it anymore.
If you notice, you already know, but some of the ignorant people, they don't know.
Yeah.
The people that actually don't believe in God, they're happiest ever.
Right. I know. It's and they don't believe that. They think that can't happen. Oh no, you have to believe in God to be happy. You have to, and the Muslims will say the same thing, and the Christians will say the same thing, and they all say the same thing. No, you can't be happy.
Let me tell you a nice joke, okay? You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. The atheists, let's say, okay? So whenever something bad happens, they always say, "Oh my God." It's like, how come you believe? What's up with God? You're atheist, right? Oh my God! I'm like, what?
It's a common language. It's a common linguistic thing, isn't it? It's like saying "bless you" when somebody sneezes, right?
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's the evil God.
That's funny, man.
I would like to give other people a chance.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm glad you came on, Duran. Yeah. Aaliyah says she wanted to. Aaliyah said she was rebuking you in the name of Jesus. Bless her heart.
Like I said, if you notice, seriously, let's take it a little bit, to their level.
Yeah.
And all the comments are really some of them are extremely very sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Very sad, and
Definitely.
they make you really you're downgraded from humanity.
Yeah. Right. I know it.
They
I know it.
degrade you like that.
It's separation, and that's what. Yeah, that's exactly what religion does, and that's why I say religion is bondage, because it creates this separation between it's founded upon separation. There's a God separate from us. We are separate from creation, and we Christians are separate from all the other people.
Another line there. It's not only religion; it's also language.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's right. That's you're exactly right.
Because, for example, it's a child. Let's say. So if a child doesn't believe in God, so they're not gonna go to heaven or hell. Come on, man.
Yeah. Right.
They don't know. And
Right.
if this person doesn't speak this language, let's say if some Christians they say, oh, you need to know English or Latin to understand the
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah. Right.
Who are you? You know, come on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they always like the best. I love it. You know, I don't argue with people because as soon as you
Yeah, I
argue
don't
with
either.
them, they always lose because their only proof is scripture.
Yeah.
That was written
And it's
by
belief. Yeah.
someone.
Belief in scripture. Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then when you say, okay, so show me God, they have no proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. Show me the
mental.
devil, there is nothing.
Right. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
when you look at when you go outside, you know, you look at the sky, you see the sun.
My mental. I saw that
You
coming.
see the moon,
Mm-hmm.
the air you breathe, you see the ocean.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's existence.
Right. And it all goes together. It all like interconnects and intertwines. It's all inseparable as well. So this entire present moment is, the whole thing is inseparable, right? I mean, I exist because the sun exists. The sun, I exist because the trees exist. I mean, it's all this interconnected, inseparable process of a present moment.
There are things that we don't know, you know, I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure.
There are things, but I don't say all because I don't believe or I don't like I said, you know, like I said, religion is an extremely very difficult program.
Yeah.
And people are stuck to it too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you start questioning them, they don't like how do you say? Like me, even if you teach anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't know if they're awake or not. They have to wake themselves up, themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, they're not gonna learn.
Exactly.
They have to experience it, and then they have to question
Yeah.
why, and then all because, like for example, if you're Christian, let's say, you have to question what's Muslim, what's Jewish,
Yeah.
what's a Hindu. While you have to ask these questions,
Right.
and then all because you're Christian doesn't mean because they hate, and then that's how they panic attack.
Yeah.
They start panicking.
That's exactly
And then,
right.
because they don't know what to do, and they don't know what to understand. They're and then they're like, oh, God is this, God is that.
Right. And it just comes back to belief. Right.
They're like yin yang.
Yeah.
Returning back. But like I said, they are miserable.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I know.
Like every time you smile,
Yeah.
you make everybody smile.
Right.
You know?
And that's why I talk about these things too, is to help people break free of that bondage, and not everybody wants to hear it, and that's okay. People just want to come on and debate. Well, look, let's have a conversation. Keep scrolling if you want to debate. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that nonsense.
Okay. Like you said here, you are free. I'll give you a best example. We are born naked. We go back naked.
Yeah.
Simple.
That's right.
Simple.
Exactly.
You can't, doesn't matter what you believe. You have to be happy in this
Yeah,
world. You can't, like tomorrow morning, like this evening, we're going to go sleep. We're going to wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to see this beautiful life. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate
That's
it.
right.
You don't need somebody to tell you how to, appreciate your life. You appreciate it. You say
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
to yourself. You thanks for my friends. Whatever. You don't need somebody imaginary to
Yeah,
tell you how.
exactly.
Thank you, amen. Like I said, amen is bad.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you very much.
I want to hear other people.
Yeah. Thank you, Duran.
But please don't make fun of them. They're not ready.
Oh yeah, exactly. No way. Hey, look, I followed you back. I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay, my friend. Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right. EA Sports equals the game equals altar boy. That was a good conversation. All right. Oh, good grief. Let's see. Let me. I already know what's coming, but let me go ahead and do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. But that was good. Hello, Aaliyah. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good, doing well.
Okay, so
You wanted to rebuke Duran there, didn't you?
yeah, this wouldn't work because literally right when I prayed to him for some way for him to come off, he says he when it comes off. God, right as a witness. So,
Well, look, why don't you, honestly, if your prayer works like that, pray that a demon will appear behind me or Jesus will appear behind me or something like that.
he's not gonna pray for something evil to appear.
Well, no, pray that, or then ask Jesus to come appear for us in this live because there are 65 people here that would believe, or not have to believe, but no.
I promise you, if you seek Jesus, he will appear. But I want
So you've seen Jesus like physically? He's appeared to you physically?
So I didn't come to them by a church or a person.
What I'm saying is, did he appear to you physically? Is that what you're saying? Like he visited you physically?
Okay, so here's the thing. I basically got the Holy Spirit.
So no, he didn't appear physically?
And okay, so I have to explain this for you to understand, but hold on. You didn't answer my question, but why don't you believe in God?
Oh, why should I?
Do you believe
But
in science, yes or no?
I don't believe anything. I don't believe in anything. Belief is irrelevant for me. I'm this moment right here in this present moment. I am this moment. I don't have to believe in anything. I don't believe anything. I don't know why you're.
Alright, so when you wash your hands, do you think it's clean? Yes or no?
I wash my hands. I don't have to believe anything. I wash my hands.
If you wash your hands with soap, do you believe your hands are not clean?
I don't have to believe anything to wash my hands. I don't understand why you want me to believe something.
So don't wash your hands.
But if I wash my hands, that is an experience of washing my hands. I'm not having to believe anything about that.
The germs on your hand. There's not going to be germs on your hand are clean. It's sanitary.
Okay.
Do you believe that? Yes or no?
I can look into a microscope and see germs. I can look in a microscope and see
This
germs.
is a general question.
I know. I can look into a microscope and see germs. So I don't understand why you're asking me what I believe about washing my hands when we can see.
Don't look at the word believe. This is a general question. When you wash
Yeah, it
your
is.
hands, right, with soap, do you believe that your hands are not sanitary? Yes or no?
No, I don't have to believe that. They're either clean or they're not. I don't have to believe anything.
Touch your hands on the ground. Do you think your hands are dirty? Even
I can see the dirt on my hands. I don't have. Why are you asking me what I believe? Why do I believe? Why are you trying to make me believe something? I don't have to believe anything.
you believe anything you do, know that's true, which is science. You know it's true.
No. Okay, there you go. No, it's true. So if that's the word you should be using with these kinds of questions. But now when you jump to something like God or Jesus, I don't know, or are you a Muslim? I don't know. Do you believe in Allah or hello? Hello?
I don't believe
Oh.
Muslim is fake.
Oh,
It was just a man.
wow. Okay. So,
Right there.
okay. Well, there are millions of people who disagree with you on that as well. So,
Agnostic, whatever you want to call it. I looked up in the sky one day. I said, God, are you real? And boom, supernatural stuff started happening.
well, that's what I'm saying. Show us. Do it.
At the end of the day, majority of the people in this live believe in science, and science was created.
So,
Founded scientists.
what you're saying, hey, what you're saying is that I can look up in the sky right now and ask God to do something supernatural, and He should do it. Okay, God, here I am. I'm following Aaliyah's lead right here. She said she looked into the sky and you did something supernatural. So I'm looking in the sky, well, at my ceiling. Do something supernatural for me to believe right now. Well, not so that I'll believe, but so that I'll know. Because we need to leave this word belief out of it. Because I don't have to believe anything. I don't want to believe anything. I need to know. Well, you just said that that's what you did. Jet, there's some lightning.
But listen, Satan calls himself God, so when you pray, you have to address him as.
Tell me what to say. Okay, tell me what to say. I'll do it, and let's see if anything supernatural happens. Tell me what to say.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Why not? That's awfully convenient.
You're the one day you're gonna come back on this live and you're literally gonna start.
Well, no. Well, why not? You said it happens if if I'm talking to the right God and all that. So you tell me what to say. I'll say it. Anything, whatever you want me to say, and let's see if it happens like it did for you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so there's a reason why God is not just gonna appear on his life. Like everyone knows this. So
Everyone knows this. I know it too. It's because he's not there. He doesn't exist. That God doesn't exist. Well, then tell him to show himself right here on this live. Because I'm telling you, he doesn't exist.
crazy, but I promise you, like, there's many times where God actually worked in.
But you're telling me that. I'm saying I want to know.
Use
I'm not going to believe your words. I want to know for myself. So tell him to do the same thing. Like, do something supernatural on this live, or show yourself, or whatever. Speak, whatever it is. Because I don't want to believe your words. I don't want to have to believe anything is what I'm saying. I should be able to know by experience, like he should do something that shows us, oh, he's there. Okay. Well, if he did that for you, why is he not doing that for us on this live?
when I died and
It doesn't, look, I'm trying to tell you, your story doesn't matter. No, listen, your story doesn't matter because I'm going to have to believe it or not. And I'm not going to believe you. I don't believe anything.
think 7 million people here has to believe your story.
I'm not asking anybody to believe anything I say. I don't want anybody to believe anything I say. So if you've ever listened to me before, I always tell people, don't believe me. Go research for yourself. Study it. Look at it for yourself. Go read what I've written and see if it's true or not, right? But whatever you're going to tell me, I'm going to have to either believe or not. And I'm not going to believe it because it's not my reality.
It's not my opinion. Like, this is something you can just Google and it will pop up. Like,
Your experience?
The thing, I commented the Conjuring house, right? The people that lived there, the old lady is still there, the young daughter. Bro, she witnessed her mom fly across the room.
You saw this happen?
Bro, it's real.
You saw this happen?
You go inside the house, you have to pray 12 times.
You're believing this, though. Don't you understand you're believing this?
The place,
Don't you understand what you're telling me right now? You're believing these things. Hey, listen. Yes or no? Do you understand right now? You're telling me that you believe this.
bro, I don't have to believe it if I already seen them myself.
You saw him fly in the house. You saw him fly across the room.
I've seen demons, yes, I have. I casted them on myself.
But I don't believe you. So show them. I mean, I don't believe you.
I have to show. The thing
You know Joseph Smith. You know Joseph Smith, the founder. Listen. You know Joseph Smith, the founder of. Hey, Aaliyah. You know Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism, said that Jesus, the Holy Spirit, the Father, Peter, Paul, all of them appeared to him in person. Abraham, all of them. Like they all appeared to him in person. He said that, right? Do you believe that? I don't. Why would I believe you? Oops, I'm trying to unmute you. You can unmute yourself.
I know.
There are people that say all kinds of outrageous things.
That was the beginning of human creation, so of course, but after the sin and the
Wait, what?
Noah's Ark and stuff, God became much like kind of like strict on his appearance. He stopped showing himself really.
Well, Joseph Smith, this happened like in the last 200 years, is what I'm saying.
And also, you don't have to mute me. You can just tell me you have to.
No, I was trying to tell you to hold on, and you kept talking.
No, you can tell me stop.
I'll put my hand up. How about that? That way you can see me. Maybe you can't hear me.
Sometimes I close my eyes.
I do the same. Look, I'm not. I hope you know that I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm really not. I'm really not.
I respect you. You're good. You're good.
But I just don't believe. I just don't believe anything, and I don't believe what you tell me because I don't believe other people's beliefs.
Text privately, I'll get more in detail because you know this
That's
is
fine.
live and blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever. But the reason why demons won't show themselves because right now there's people in this live right now that are sinners that don't believe in God or nothing, right? So if they appear right now, it's gonna cause 81 people to wake up and stop living in sin. Literally, but and the devil doesn't want that. So
Well,
he's
do
not
you-
going to do that.
Do you think God could appear and have them stop living in sin and wake up?
And yes, that's in Revelation. God and Jesus will appear one day. Literally. He
One
will.
way.
That's
One day.
Revelation.
Hey, look. Hey, if you're interested in that conversation, I did write a post on rickquestionsthings.com explaining why Jesus is actually never coming back. Because if you understand the New Testament, the New Testament, when it's talking about, especially in the Gospels, when it's talking about the coming of Jesus, it's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE by the Romans. And I lay that out like in detail on rickquestionsthings.com. I think you might be interested in it.
Okay, you can text me that. And science literally says law of creation. Every creation has a creator, meaning that humans did not create itself. Something above us higher.
That I've never heard that, a law of creation.
Years to reach the sun. No human can do that. If we go even like not even if we go even 50,000 miles from the sun, we're toasted. No human on this earth can do that. Only a God. Only a God can make universes. No human can do that. You can't show me no human right now on this earth that can make a whole nother earth, a whole galaxy, and a whole bunch of humans. You can't show me that.
So what you're telling me is you believe that a God created this universe, and what I'm telling you is I don't experience that in this moment. I don't believe that. I don't.
You're too strict on not believing it, so God is not.
No. I used to believe it. No, I used to believe it. So I mean, I've been there. I used to believe that.
I understand what you mean. One day you're gonna come back. I promise you, you will. And
Okay.
also, it's just that the U.S. government literally went on live TV. It was on CNN, all over the news, and said that there's non-human intelligent species. Sorry, that's my like on Earth, in the U.S. as well. They confirmed it.
Oh, you talking about the alien stuff?
With NASA about fake space. I'm serious.
I don't know.
According to Genesis, this is like I'm.
You believe we live in a firmament? Do you believe the Earth is flat?
Yes, I do.
No.
And also, in Miami,
Do you believe Do you believe the sun? You believe the sun revolves around the flat Earth?
See, all that other stuff about space and all that, I don't know about that, so I'm not gonna say like, oh, I think the sun. No.
Yeah.
I just believe in the firmament in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's really it. So, yeah.
Well, I don't, and I don't. I mean, the thing is, though, I just don't believe in anything. I really don't. I really don't have any beliefs. I seriously don't. I mean, because from my perspective, all that exists is this moment right here, this present moment, and there's no beliefs necessary or required to be aware of this moment. And so, for me, this is existence. This is existence, and nothing else exists outside of it.
I understand, but it's just like if your own, you sound like you live in the U.S. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but if our own government is telling us that other things besides a human is here on the U.S., why don't you believe it?
The only intelligent species or life in the entire universe, and I don't believe that we're not. I just don't believe anything about it at all. Now, if I get visited by a UFO and an alien, then I don't have to believe anything still. I will know. But I just don't have to. It's irrelevant for me to try to believe one way or the other because I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You can't trust the government at all, ever. Valerie.
I understand, but it's just like the Holy Spirit could have been working in you in like plain sight, but you choose to like go against it.
No, I don't choose to go against it. I just don't believe. There's no reason for me to believe in it. I don't see the Holy Spirit. I mean,
Are you good at math?
and the thing is, when I went to seminary, I've got a master's of arts in religion. I learned Hebrew. I learned Greek. I've translated. I've translated more scripture than most Christians have read, just to be honest with you. And I used to translate everything that I would preach because I wanted to know, you know. And my study and research of the New Testament, I discovered that it isn't true. It's not true. So any of the questions that you're asking me, like about the Holy Spirit and all that stuff, like I have the context, right, to work with that tells me from my own research, knowledge, and intellect that it's not true. Like the Holy Spirit doesn't exist because the New Testament has a purpose, and it's not what you think it is. The purpose was just to explain why Jerusalem was destroyed. Like that's why the New Testament exists, specifically in particular the Gospels. But that's why they exist.
I was asking if you believe in math because
No, I don't believe in math.
the way for 1 out of 1, for 1 out of 1 is basically saying it's rare, basically impossible.
Yeah, I don't believe in math.
What happens to me, like I'm talking about in a row, like it won't miss it. It could be the fifth, the sixth, the seventh time in a row. And I'm praying to our Heavenly Father.
Yeah. Well,
I don't believe anything is just a coincidence.
well, here's the thing. I don't.
It really happens to me.
You asked if I believe in math, and I don't believe in. You don't have to believe in math. You can know that if I hold this finger and this finger up, that's two fingers, right? And besides, I'm just trying to tell you that there's no reason for me to believe that. I'm experiencing it right here in this moment. I'm just telling you, I don't have to believe it. I don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe math. That's a bad analogy, I think.
Okay, what's the thing that you can see but you believe it?
Nothing. I don't have to believe it if I see it.
Oxygen. Can you see oxygen? Can you see oxygen?
Yes, under microscope, with the proper tools. Yes.
You have to go through a whole process just
Yeah, but you can see it. Yes, but you can see it. You can see those things. You can see molecules. You can see. Huh?
I said the oxygen, like air, like not air, but like just oxygen.
What? And you're asking me like, okay, let's just bring it to this moment. If I'm sitting here in this moment right now, I don't have to believe oxygen exists for me to breathe. Breathing happens. I don't have to believe anything about that. I don't. Now, if I go to a lab and these people will come and say, "Hey, come look at this. You want to see some oxygen?" I see it. Then I don't have to believe it then either. But right here in this moment, I don't have to believe that oxygen exists for me to breathe. I breathe. That is my reality. That is my experience. So I don't have to believe to breathe. I breathe.
Okay, but do you believe you have a heart, right?
In this moment, and I can feel my heart beating. I am sitting here in this moment. Why do I have to believe that I have a heart?
But you can't see it, and that's what God is.
Why do I have to believe that I have a heart when I'm here in this moment breathing? I can feel my pulse.
I be feeling the Holy Spirit.
And we've cut and we have done autopsies and we've held hearts in our hands, right? But when have you held God in your hands?
It shows you. There's people getting deliverance in church.
It's not real though. Have you watched Marjo? Hey, I'm going to ask you one more question, then I'm going to move on to the next guest because I do want to get more people on. But have you ever seen the documentary Marjo?
No, I haven't.
It's really good. You should check it out. It was made in, I want to say the late 70s, but it was this preacher. He was a Holy Ghost filled preacher, right? And he did all these tent revivals, and he was touching people, and they would speak in tongues and be filled with the Holy Spirit and all that kind of stuff. Well, he was actually an atheist, which most of those guys are, like Benny Hinn, Kenneth Copeland. All those guys are atheists, right? They're just making a lot of money. Well, this guy Marjo Gersner, he started feeling guilty about it, so he assembled a documentary crew. And he makes this documentary to come out and show that it's all just a facade. So this documentary film crew is filming him as he's interacting with all these big preachers and evangelists. And he does all these tent revivals, and he's preaching and putting on the show, and he's laying people out in the spirit. They're speaking in tongues. And this whole time he's an atheist just raking in the money, right? I think you should watch it because it's very telling that it's all emotion and hype and passion and hope and desire that wells up in human beings. And the mind is a powerful thing. All of that stuff just builds up, and they start doing these things that they think are real and having these experiences that they think are real, but they're just emotion and desire is what they are. But it's a good documentary. You should watch it. But anyway, Aaliyah, I really appreciate you coming on.
I want to say something real quick to you guys, real quick. I'm sorry.
Real fast, because I do want to have other people on.
Alright, for the people like Muslim, okay, listen, I know Muslim is fake because he's a human being. Jesus, he died and came back. Muhammad didn't. And he came from heaven.
Yes, that's a belief. So both of those are beliefs. You believe in one and you don't believe in the other. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
But I really pray that everyone finds
Thank you, Aaliyah. All right. Hey, I do want to tell you this. I do really appreciate you coming on, though. I really do. And I enjoyed the conversation, seriously. And I appreciate you being sweet, because you are. You're really sweet. Huh?
I appreciate you being respectful.
Yeah.
Some people would have been like rude.
No. I appreciate you too, because you're very sweet and very respectful as well. So, thank you for coming on.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. All right. Turn with me to Richthians 24/7. That's funny. Richthians. Haven't heard that one. Okay, let's see. That is so funny. My favorite verse, Timo says. I am brainwash you. You know, brainwashed us to believe in oxygen. Never been asked if I have organs because I can't see them. Jesus was a God-realized yogi, similar to Ramana Maharshi. What's up, Christy? So the thing is, what's the name of the documentary? It's Marjo. It's just called Marjo. Marjoe, I think. And it's on Amazon Prime. You can get it on Amazon. Now I want to see the Conjuring House. Yeah, Webb's Girl. It's really good. I mean, I like it. I've seen it a couple times. It's very telling what goes on behind those scenes. Like the big guys like Joel Osteen and Benny Hinn and Kenneth Copeland and Joyce Myers and all those people, Paula White, all those people that are Peter Popoff. What kind of name is that? They're all putting on this show and laying people out in the spirit and doing all these miraculous healings that aren't really miraculous or healing. They're all atheists. They're just bringing in so much money. There's so many gullible people out there that'll believe anything. Yeah, you'll like it. There's Liam. Okay, I will in just a minute. I'm gonna hit. Hold on. There's a list. What's up, dude? It's all about the money. They're great businessmen, right, Christy? It is. It is. Benny Hinn hit me with his coat. Yeah, it really is. What's up, Balrog? Good to see you. Yeah, I was part of the church tour scene. No, I'm not. Rogue charlatan. Oh, man, yeah. I was a pastor for several years. Talking good about crooks, right? Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to go to the restroom here in a minute. I'm going to let me see. Who was... I never know who requested first. Oh, I saw... hey, Rhonda, what's up? Good to see you. I never know who was on... who requested first, but I think I discovered it was the top. So I got top down, something like that. Private jets, $1 million homes, right. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Oh, good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I talked to you like a year ago, so I figured I'd follow up with you.
Nice, man. Yeah. I noticed we were friends. So it's been a while. I took like a 7-month break a while back. I took like the whole summer off, and then several, I think it was a total of 7 months though that I took off. I didn't do any lives or write anything or anything like that.
Do you write books?
No, but I write on Rick Questions things. Yeah, I just write blog posts. I need to write a book. I've been saying I was going to write a book for a long time, and I just never have done it. You did, Rhonda. I didn't know you requested.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I hopped on here because I had a couple questions, but I was when we spoke last time, you had recommended that I watch Marjo.
Oh, man, that's so funny. I haven't mentioned that in a long time, and I've talked about it tonight, and you happen to hear it again. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a funny, interesting. It was and I'm still, I'm still a Christian.
Yeah.
I'm still, I'm navigating my faith, and I'm still struggling with some things.
Yeah.
However, I've just had experiences with God I can't just explain away. But it's funny in that movie Marjo. One of my favorite parts was when he's having dinner with that couple, and the lady's like, people just think we have discernment, and we can see the real thing from the fake. And the whole time he's faking.
Right.
About how they can see through people, and he's sitting there winking at the camera.
Oh, man, it was so funny. I remember that part. He's like looking at the camera. Yeah. That's so great. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely a very eye-opening
Yeah, it is.
movie, and I do think there is a lot of that emotionalism that's
Right.
Have you heard of Seraphim Rose?
Seraphim Rose. Yeah. Why does that sound familiar? Why does that sound familiar? Tell me.
He was an Orthodox saint. He was the first American Orthodox saint.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why it sounds familiar. I don't know.
From the 1900s. But
Okay.
he was actually, not in the early 1900s. He was actually a student of Alan Watts.
Oh,
And so he
that's
sat under Alan Watts for years, and then
Seraphim.
he ended up,
I'm gonna look him
coming to
up.
Christ and was an Orthodox saint. So he has a book where it's called Orthodoxy: The Religion of the Future.
Ah.
And so he speaks about kind of all of these things going on. He speaks about
He's
the
Russian
charismatic
Orthodox.
movement. He has a book about not necessarily Alan Watts
Yeah.
personally, but his movement and the things that go on within that. And,
Interesting.
So I think he definitely has some very interesting points.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And for some reason the name sounds so familiar, so I'm sure I've come across him before. But yeah, I just looked him up, and sure enough, people also search for Alan Watts, Jiddu Krishnamurti. Yeah, I'll look into him, man, because I think that's interesting. I'm looking at his books right now. Which one did you recommend?
It's called Orthodoxy: The
And
Religion of the
the Religion of the Future. I see it. Okay. I'm going to have that pulled up. I'm going to read it.
Yeah. So I just had like two questions, I guess, real quick. I won't take too much of your time. I know you got other guests on here, but for I guess one thing I wanted to ask is, whenever you were a Christian, did you believe in like signs and wonders and miracles and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I was open-minded to it and believed, but I never experienced like speaking in tongues and all that stuff, because for me, like I never wanted to fool myself. That's one thing I never wanted to do. I always wanted genuineness, right? I wanted it to be from God. And I believed wholeheartedly, obviously. I mean, I really did. I believed Jesus. I believed in the Holy Spirit, the power of the Holy Spirit. I believed in God. And I believed that those things were possible. And I prayed for them. You know, I spent a lot of time praying for those things in many different parts of my walk in those days. And that never happened. Like those kinds of signs never happened. I had things happen that I believed were experiences from God, right? I mean, when I went, to Ecuador, and I had been trying to learn Spanish, and I spoke Spanish better than I ever had while I was in Ecuador. So for me, that was like, I spoke in, Spanish. It had to have been the power of God. And and I believed that. But as far as like speaking in tongues, I wanted to so bad, and it never happened. And I was never willing to I was just so weary of fooling myself, I never wanted that to be a possibility. So I just waited and waited for God to do it and make it happen. And it never, I never had that kind of experience.
Right. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think, and that's why I was saying, like, I have had those experiences, and I was very similar because I was Buddhist, was my spiritual background. I was big into psychedelics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew there was a spiritual realm, but then when I experienced that stuff through God, that was like, it kind of sealed the deal. I've just had these experiences, but I've also had those months and months of that silence, and I think I've heard a video of you talking about like
the deafening silence. Yeah.
You're most thirsty and you're most desperate, and just being met with silence.
Yeah.
And I've had that, and I'm actually in that place right now where it's just that silence, and you're like, man, God, like you could just do like the most simplest thing right now, and it would kind of, tip me back over, and you don't, and why he chooses not to, but yeah, like I just have that faith, I guess, where I just can't not believe, but
and yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, so I mean, I get it, and like,
Yeah.
I have friends that are very firm with if they leave the faith, they never were real Christian, and I get mad at them. I'll tell them, I'm like, dude, that is such a cop out.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
What I mean? Like,
I was.
dude, I've seen people.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but I've told a couple people this before. But when I was a pastor, I remember preaching, saying, because I knew that I loved God. I knew that I loved Jesus. I knew like what I desired, I was wholehearted, right? And I remember preaching, if I ever leave the faith, if I ever lose my faith, that I was never, I never had real faith. I preached that. But I mean, looking back, the reason I preached that is because I knew I had real faith. The reason I preached that is because I knew that I believed. Thank you, Rogue. I knew that I believed really strongly. So yeah, and people say that to me all the time. Oh, he never was a Christian. He never believed, all that. And I'm like, I seriously, and I say this, and people are like, that's so prideful, but I mean it. Like, I was the most genuine, sincere Christian I've ever known. I really was, because I know how I felt. I know what I believed. I know that it was my life, and I genuinely, wholeheartedly just wanted to know Jesus and know God and be like Christ. So when people say that, it's meaningless to me because I know that it's not true. I know that if there was a Christian, I was one.
No, that's why I joke with my friends, because I'm like, there's times I've almost thought I was about to walk away, and so I'm like, man, if I walked away, what would you guys, because I feel the same way, I'm like, especially at certain points in my walk, I've never met anybody that was as zealous and, on fire for God.
Yeah.
Were you before, because when you were, I actually was talking to somebody that's a preterist, were you preterist before you left when you found out about 70 AD?
Yeah, I went through, so I was still believing when I discovered all those things. And I wasn't sure what preterism was. I was just like reading, and I was studying history, and I was reading Josephus, and I was like, wait a minute, what am I seeing here? And then I discovered preterism, and I learned from a lot of that stuff. But I wasn't before. I was Reformed, I was Calvinistic, but I was more like maybe amillennial or post-millennial than anything. I was never premillennial, so I never believed in like the rapture and all that kind of stuff. But I was shifting between like amillennialism or postmillennialism, and then I really went the direction of complete full preterism, still believing though, until I just couldn't anymore in the end. I thought, okay, wait a minute. These things were written for this purpose. Like the Gospels, and I don't know if you visited Rick Questions Things in a while, but I wrote a post last week, I think it was last week or the week before, Matthew 24 and the coming of Jesus. And I just went through that whole context showing that when it's talking about the coming of Jesus, it's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE by the Romans. And I showed that throughout the whole text. But the reason I see those things and can't believe that they're divinely inspired is because I also know that we don't have any reason to believe that those things were written prior to the destruction of Jerusalem. It would take belief and faith to believe that, because we don't have any manuscript evidence prior to 70 CE. We don't have any of that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying any of the New Testament, specifically the Gospels. So when I saw that, and I thought, okay, man, the agenda to me seemed really clear. We have these believers that are trying to figure out, how could God allow Jerusalem to be destroyed? How could God allow his people to be destroyed and led into captivity again? How could he allow the temple to be destroyed again? And you find the very similar vein, the same theological thought happening that you do in the Old Testament. Well, it was God's judgment. He brought in a foreign nation. He's judging the leaders, the rulers of Israel for their unfaithfulness. That's why you have Jesus pronouncing the woes on the scribes and Pharisees. It's like it's mimicking all of the Old Testament stories as well, when God brought his people into captivity and judged them covenantally by the hands of other nations. And for me, it was like, okay, they're just trying to explain this again. They're trying to explain it just like they explained it in the Old Testament. They're trying to explain these events in a way that makes sense to them theologically, in their faith, in what they understand. And so you get this very physical religion morphing into a very spiritual religion, because there is no more physical land. That land's gone, the temple's gone, the presence of God dwelled in that temple. Now he dwells spiritually in the heart. So, it just get this shift taking place to continue the religion on. They wanted to continue to believe, and that's the way they did it.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I met somebody online a couple of months ago, and he's preterist, and and that's one thing, like the Matthew 24, Paul writing in this expectancy, like, guys, any day now, the closer is time than before we originally assumed. And why did that seem so sure, like it was happening any moment? And Jesus says that, Matthew 24, and so
Yeah.
I guess, idea of
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
And there's still some things that don't make sense to me, but
Sure.
it's definitely interesting.
And I don't think it's.
My last question is,
Yeah.
no, so what would you? Because I know you still believe in spirituality and stuff like that, and you're in tune with that aspect of yourself. To be honest, personally, I don't know how anyone could just be completely atheist. Like,
Yeah.
that's like really hard for me to
Yeah.
swallow. Like,
See,
that idea, there's just nothing.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told you this last time, but I don't label myself anything. I really don't. So I don't say I'm an atheist. I'm not a theist. I'm not an agnostic. I'm not, spiritual. I don't like label myself anything. I just I am here right now in this moment, and what I experience is this moment, right? So there is existence, and I am not separable from that. I'm inseparable from existence. I'm inseparable from this moment. We know that all things are energy, right? Everything is made of energy taking forms, right? And energy is not created or destroyed. So, I know that I am this continuous flow of existence, of energy, the cosmic energy of the universe. That's what I am. I was going to say it sounds spiritual, and it can be put in those terms, but it just, for me, it's like reality. Like, I don't like to make a distinction between reality and spiritual or physical and spiritual, because it's just reality. It's existence. I am this moment. I am existence. I'm one with existence, but not just one with existence. I am existence, because I'm the same stuff as existence. I'm existence taking on this form. I'm existence flowing in this form with energy. I'm maybe I didn't use this analogy with you last time either, but I'm like a wave of the ocean. The wave is the ocean. It's the ocean waving. And so I am the ocean itself, meaning I am existence. I'm the universe. I'm the energy of the universe. And so that's what I wouldn't label myself anything. I would just use words about what is this right here, right now, this moment,
Well, do you still believe that there's different dimensions or different realms of existence that will pass on to after we leave this earth?
No, I just don't believe. I don't believe either way. I really don't, because right now in this moment, it's kind of irrelevant to me, right? So, and I get asked all the time, and I just posted yesterday on Rick Questions Things. My last post was called Frequently Asked Questions. I just pulled it up, and so here are the questions I get asked all the time. Do you believe in God? So I answered that just real briefly in 2 paragraphs. Do you meditate? I get asked that a lot. Why did you leave Christianity? What do you believe? Do you have any book recommendations? And then the last one, what happens when we die? Because I get asked that every single live. Well, what happens when you die? Well, usually people say, what do you believe happens when we die? And I say, I don't believe anything about it. And if I were to tell you what happens after we die, you would know that it's just my belief. You would know that it's either my belief or my imagination, or my belief that someone else believes, or something like that. Because I personally have never died. I've never experienced death. I've never exited out of this present moment of existence right here. So for me to even make a comment on what happens after death would purely be me just either believing somebody else's beliefs, or imagining my own scenario and giving you that. But whatever it would be speculation, So I just don't believe anything about it.
You just live in the now.
Yeah. Yeah, because for me the question's irrelevant. I can't know. I just can't know, So it's irrelevant, and it takes me out of the present moment. Because I really am I'm fully I say this, but I don't really mean these words. I'm fully invested in the moment, but what I really mean is I'm just aware of this moment right here, right now. So much so that those kinds of questions have become absolutely irrelevant to me. I don't even think about it. I mean, the only time I think about it is when I'm talking about it here, but it doesn't matter. It's an irrelevant question to me, what happens after death, because I can't know. And if I want to believe something, I'm going to have to believe the words of someone else, or something that I've read in a book, or something that this religion says or that religion says, because there's a lot of different versions. I'm going to have to pick one to believe. But nobody really knows, So, and what that does is it takes me out of this present moment, and it makes me contemplate the future, some imaginary future that doesn't exist. I can't experience that right now. So it's just become irrelevant.
Right. How is that? Because times, I still am similar in the sense that I still believe in the present moment. The power of just being in the moment now.
Yeah.
And all of those
actually a somewhat Christian, theme as well. But how have you? Because I've struggled with that balance of being. It's very easy for me to be that person, right? And
Yeah.
so how have you found the balance in doing that while also planning for the future, or
Yeah.
pressing towards goals and those kinds of things?
Yeah, sure. Well, the future and goals and all that stuff don't have the weight that they have for me now than they used to. But here's the thing. Like, I think I would say it like this. I know who I am in this moment as existence, and I know that everything that is happening, everything that happens, everything is going to happen. I'll put that in quotes because I don't know what's going to happen. Is all the happening of existence. It's the happening of the universe. It's the happening of energy, right? And so I really don't have a lot of anxiety or worry, because I think worry and anxiety drive us to make like precise plans. And I plan, like, I set my alarm for the morning and I get up and I go to work and I plan what I'm going to teach to the students, and I plan all those things out. But it's not like a have to, like, I'm putting all this effort into making sure that it's more like I'm planning as a happening in the present moment. So I'm fully aware of the present moment, and planning for the future doesn't take me out of the present moment, because I'm aware that even these plans and thoughts of the future are taking place in this present moment, that the future is still imaginary. It's just imaginary thoughts taking place in the present moment. And I think I'm always aware of that. So that in and of itself just sets me at ease and gives me, I think, this balance that you're talking about. I think it just gives me that balancing feeling. Like I don't, it's not, and especially like the future, meaning like after life, like what happens after death. I'm not planning that at all. That's like, it's absolutely, oh, cool. What's up, Aaron? It's absolutely irrelevant, and it doesn't mean anything to me right now. But if I'm planning like for the days ahead in my life, I'm doing it in the present moment, fully aware of the present moment, not as a chore, not as a this effort thing. It's just a happening right now, and I see it as that. I'm kind of witnessing it take place. In other words, it's really strange to try to put into words. It really is, because it is more like a witnessing of it taking place.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I understand. Well, I feel like I could talk to you for hours. I'm sure there's all types.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you how refreshing and how much I love this conversation. It's such a genuine conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell where you're at. There's no use of me sitting here trying to scare you back into
Yeah. Right.
all the time. And you've heard all the answers already.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
What's my last question? What's like the biggest God moment then in your life? Like, what's one thing, if it comes to mind, I guess, where you, like, when it happened, you're like, that's way too coincidental.
The coincidences?
That has to be from something outside myself.
Oh, that's funny.
Something crazy where you're like,
Yeah.
that has to be something supernatural,
Yeah. Let me think about that. I mean, because coincidences happen all the time, and I don't really think about them as like God moments. But what I see in those moments of
Not a coincidence. Something that you're like, there's no way this is a coincidence. Like, just something crazy that, like, and I'll give you, this is
Okay.
a story that, and this just came to my mind. My
Okay.
sister actually shared that she doesn't believe in God.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know why. She actually, like, hates the idea of God, and I don't know why. Nothing ever happened within it. But anyway,
Yeah.
she was telling me about a year or two ago, I'm always, like, trying to talk to her about God and stuff still, and but anyway, she was telling me how one time she was actually planning to take her life, and she was driving to go to the place she was going to go, and she said all of a sudden there was like no cars on the road. This car just swerved in front of her, and the license plate said "Don't do it." So
Yeah.
that was like one thing to where she's like, now that did make me question, like, maybe there's a God out there.
Yeah. Right. No, I think the biggest moment that I was like, oh man, how did this happen? Right. Was when this was in 2013, and obviously I don't believe, but this is one of those moments where if it was going to be a moment, it would be something like this. it was in 2013, and I used to drive an hour to work every day. So I was driving on this interstate, and I was driving at the time this little 1999 Honda Accord that had like over 200,000 miles on it. And it was like, I just drove it back and forth to work. It never had any problems. It was such a great car. And I'm driving to work one morning super early, and this 18-wheeler's coming up on me, and I'm doing about 75. So he's doing probably 85. And he gets up where his front wheels are about even with my back wheels. And when he does, he starts swerving over and he hits me, pushes me. And I realized in the moment I had lost control. Like I was trying to use the steering wheel and it wasn't working because the weight of him was just pushing me in front. So I ended up in front of him, in front of this 18-wheeler. I'm looking at the grill of this 18-wheeler in my face, screaming down the interstate, and I'm screaming, no, in my mind, I'm 100% certain in the moment that I'm dying. Like, this is my death. I'm witnessing my death, right? I was sure that I was going to die. So he's pushing me down the interstate, and I'm screaming, oh, God, no. And I'm thinking of my wife and my kids, and, like all that's going through my mind. And I'm laughing about it now, but it was absolutely, utterly terrifying. He's pushing me, and he doesn't slow down. We're still screaming down the interstate. And I roll off on this side. I never flip or anything. I roll off on this side, and I thought, I had this brief moment of relief because I knew that I was on the other side. But then his trailer came around and hit me again. Boom. And just spun me around. My car's a mangled mess, but I'm spinning. I'm still alive, and I come to rest like half in the median in the grass and half on the lane. So I realize I'm alive, and I look back, and my next thought is traffic. Somebody else is going to hit me. And I can't get out of the car, and I'm like banging on the door. Finally, it busts open, and I roll down into the ditch, and I'm laying in water. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, how did I survive? Like that for me was like, that's miraculous. In that moment, I felt it was miraculous, and the tow truck driver that got my car later on after I was out of the hospital and everything, I saw the tow truck driver, and he said, I've been doing this for years, and I've never seen anybody walk away from an accident like that, So that would probably be a moment, that I would say that was huge. If it was something, it would be that,
I'm gonna give God glory for it.
Dude, hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really appreciate you. This was good and refreshing. I enjoy the conversation and the genuineness, the sincerity. Like your questions are good. They're unique. They're genuine, and you're not just trying to. So many people come on and try to like go to war with me, and I'm just like, again. Like, let's just have a conversation, man, So I really appreciate you, dude. I'm glad you came on.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's up, Dave?
Hey, I'll come by again sometime.
All right, man. Good. All right. Keep in touch. All right. That's good, man. I appreciate him in that conversation. That's good. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right. I haven't plugged my site in a while, so I'm going to direct you to rickquestionsthings.com and read what I've written there. I have all kinds of shirts and stuff too, but read what I've written. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to let a few... Let's see. Oh, man, I have so many requests. And, hey, Dave's in there. Rhonda's in there. I'm trying to see who was first. But first, what I'm going to do, Rhonda was trying to get on last time, so I'm going to let Rhonda in because I told her I would for sure let her in this time. And then, Dave, I'm going to let you in, too, in a little bit. So hang on one second. Rhonda.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you are.
How's it going? Good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hey, your last guest was really good.
I know, that was awesome. That was so refreshing. You know, it was a good conversation. Uncommon. It was uncommon.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Thanks for answering all of my questions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem. Well, yeah, thanks for asking. And giving me the opportunity to...
Did that make sense?
Yeah, what was your last one? I'm trying to remember again.
Okay. Well, I went ahead and gave it to you ahead
Yeah,
of time.
yeah.
Just because I figured you could at least think about it.
Yeah.
Since deconstructing, prior to that, my whole life growing up in church, the Bible was my moral compass.
Yeah.
You know, that's what your parents tell you, what your church tells you, and that sort of thing. And so I got to thinking about it not too long ago. I mean, I've been out of religion for at least 6-7 years.
Yeah.
But I really started thinking about what is my moral
Thanks,
compass
Dave.
now. You know, I was like kind of untethered.
Yeah.
Feeling like you can say, yeah, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, I always do
Yeah.
the right thing.
Right.
But have you found that you've found anything to kind of draw on that replaces maybe what you had?
I don't know that...
You still have a moral compass.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just, you know, because I'm asked about morality a lot, right? It comes up a lot. And people usually are trying to say, well, you know, you can't be good without God and all that kind of stuff. But your idea of good, you know, what is a moral compass and what is morality and all those kinds of things. And obviously we get our ideas of morality from the context and culture and, you know, environment in which we find ourselves in life, right? I mean, that's where it comes from. I don't think there's any kind of like internal compass that's directing us one way or another. It's all by influence and conditioning. I mean, it has to be, right? And you see that throughout, I mean, that's why you see throughout time and throughout different cultures and ages where the morality is just so different in so many different periods, in so many different historical contexts or socio-political contexts or whatever it is, right? It's all over the board for the most part. I mean, we're pretty consistent in some strains, but, you know, as far as like, where do I get I think I just live and so much of my living obviously is conditioned. You know, I've been conditioned to not go do wrong to my neighbor because I know that if I do that, there are going to be consequences. You know, I mean, I know that there's going to be retaliation. I know that the cops are going to come after me or something like that. But I also have been conditioned to not want to do those things as well. So it's not just the consequences, it's just that it may be like the emotional consequences that I'm talking about, perhaps, you know, knowing that I don't want to do someone wrong. I don't know. It's a funny question because I don't have like an answer of some sort of universal, you know, answer, because I don't think it comes from anything supernatural, you know, at all. So it has to come from, it comes from outside of us, but it's all conditioned and cultural and, you know, from our context. I mean, it has to be, you know.
I mean, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah,
I was just driving along and I thought, wait a minute, and it just really hit me. And I really started kind of went down the rabbit hole. I was thinking, where do I get my money?
Right.
I thought, I'm going to ask Rick.
Yeah.
Everything. Wait a minute. He questions
I question it. I don't know everything. No, okay, Christy. Yeah, for me, again, and I talk a lot about this. I talk about the present moment, just being aware of the present moment. And in this moment right here, right now, I'm living as existence. I'm living, in this context, in my house. And what goes on in this house is, what I think I've been conditioned, as far as the ego goes, conditioned to do, to react. And I'm a good father, I'm a good husband, I treat my kids well, I love them, and it's not because of some, by any means, it's not because I think I'm gonna go to heaven or hell because of it. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way I am. Whereas if I was in some other time and culture where you did look at your children as in a different way, because there are other times and cultures where they look at their children and they don't have that sense of protection and love and guidance. I mean, they can throw them in a volcano to appease their god. There's all kinds of situations where they think and act and feel differently. So it's so conditioned, it's hard to put a finger on any of it. It's, you just live. I am.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just have to look at what is right and what's wrong.
Yeah, in this moment.
As it pertains to you.
Yeah.
And what you can live with.
Yeah, right. If I was currently living in Pakistan or Israel or somewhere like that, there would be some of my sense of morality would be, I would feel differently about. My actions would be different than my actions that I have here, and so it's all conditioned, and we're all dependent on where we are and when we are for that morality,
Exactly. Well, I appreciate it. I just, enjoy talking to you and
Yeah.
enjoy, learning from you and what you have to say.
Well, I
It's
appreciate
very
you.
refreshing.
Yeah, I appreciate your questions too. I mean, that's a very thought-provoking question, and it's cool to think about. It's just hard to nail down.
Dang it, I thought you would have like a specific answer. That's all right. You're like, my name is Rick and I approve this message.
Right.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'll let you
I guess.
see. I gotta go
Well.
on call at 5:30.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, it was so good to see you. I'm glad you came on. Keep the questions coming. All right, see you.
Okay, bye.
I'm gonna let Dave left. I was gonna let Dave on because he said he had a minute. Just a minute. Where'd he go? All right, let's see. I'm gonna work my way through the list. I'm gonna get to most of you guys. I don't know if I get to all of you, but my mental's been on here all night, and I appreciate my. Hey man, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I got my mind twisted all over these things. And, the one idea after another, I keep on losing them.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, what about this? I know where I'm I get distracted. One of my main questions is like, so there's one thing that happened in my life that I experienced that I had always placed on God, right? That because of God, this happened.
Yeah.
And it was when I got sober.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt just the initial stop in my life, the way, because I prayed. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the time, that's where I was at.
Yeah.
So where would you put that? Like, how would you explain the reason why that happened and why I experienced it in that way?
Yeah. I think you're more powerful than you think. That's how I would say it. I think the capacity we have for changing habits and beliefs are a powerful thing. I mean, I don't discredit beliefs being powerful, and I think I told you this, like some people, practically it makes sense for them to believe, because let me give you an extreme scenario, right? Let's say that my neighbor has serial tendencies, right? He wants to be a serial, right? I'm not going to say the word, but, and the only thing stopping him is that he feels this powerful sense of God. Like he believes in God and he believes that God's power is keeping him from acting on those. I would say by all means, keep believing. That's great. Like, especially for my sake, please. I don't want to take that away from you if you're going to come over here and do that. But I think that's like an extreme example. Really, what I would look at him and think is he believes it, and that's powerful for him. But that means that the power is his. Like, that's his power. He's able to, with the power of this belief, his mind, prevent himself from acting on these strong desires to do these things, right? I look at him and think that's a powerful thing. He's giving credit to this God. He needs this God to manifest that power in a way, right? I hate to use that word manifest because it has so much kind of like baggage to it, but he needs that belief to have, or I don't know, manifest that power. I'm just going to use it anyway. Manifest that power, right? When I see him, that's what I think. I don't really believe that a God is doing it. So I know a lot of people. I mean, my own uncle, who's gone now. He told me about this huge moment he had where he was always an addict, always, right? And in the end, he died because of some of those habits. But he was always an addict. And he said one night he got so messed up, he was trying to just OD, right? The next morning he woke up and had no desire from that point forward ever to do anything else. And he believed it was a miracle. And that's what he believed. Personally, I didn't believe it. What I saw was, well, you had an experience, and your belief in this God, you're kind of giving that power to the God and saying, "Oh, thank you, look what you've done." But it was really his power all along. He could have done that with a certain mindset. He could have done that, even before, perhaps, but not that. I mean, maybe he couldn't have. Maybe he needed certain circumstances. But that's how I would view it. From my perspective, not necessarily from a belief, but from my perspective, because I mean, I even had, when I was a pastor, right? I had this salvation experience. I was addicted to certain things that all these, the top, I don't know if I should say it online, but the topic that a lot of Christians like to talk about, maybe I won't get in trouble for this with porn, like, oh man, you can't be addicted to porn. That's the big Christian topic, right? Well, I had experienced this deliverance from the addiction of, and I gave the glory to God. I was like, God. But looking back, it was really my desire. It was really my power. It was me doing it all along, like believing that it was wrong and manifesting that power through my belief, to help me not do that because I don't believe now. And I can abstain or not, and at a whim, but it's my own power that I know is doing that. So
it's more of a choice. Like I choose to believe, where my experience, either emotionally or physically, has been proof to myself that I should believe, or like
yeah,
believe, if you will.
You're interpreting an experience, yeah.
Because you talk about like show me God, so let me see you right here.
Yeah.
And, that's why I agree with you. Like that's really hard to prove. Like
Yeah.
you can justify all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
But I really went to church for the experience. I never went necessarily for right and wrong. I
Yeah.
always felt like I knew right and wrong. Like you just know, like you don't do this. This doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, you should change it. Or if
Yeah.
something's brought up to your attention that it's not a good thing to do, or
Yeah.
I don't like this, you choose
Yeah.
to whether to fix it or not to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of I don't know if that lines up with anything, or what do you think or not?
Yeah, I think ultimately, yeah, it is. It's just, in that moment, in that context, because we're always doing we're never, we're always doing what we, let me see, how do I word this? Well, we're always doing what we think is the right thing in the moment, typically. I don't think it's rare that we really go out and go, in this moment, I'm going to do the wrong thing. You know, it's, you think you're doing the right thing, or you think there are reasons enough to do this thing, you know, whether you're weighing it good or bad or any of those things. So, and then, you know, there comes a moment perhaps where you've weighed it out and you think, okay, it's better for me. It's the consequences are going to be better. It's better for my life. It's better for my sanity, whatever, you know, to go this route this time. You know, you kind of learn from mistakes or whatnot. But it's all about that moment, that experience in the moment. What are you being conditioned by? What consequences are at play? What's going through your mind? What's your train of thought? You know, so it's all psychological. It's all a psychological game, so to speak. It's not really a game, but that's how I see it. And when people believe and have those remarkable changes, I think it's just that it's a powerful thing that the mind can perform, you know, based on what it believes. I mean, there are people, and you can look this up. I mean, there are study after study, the placebo effect, basically, where you believe you're sick for long enough, you get sick. You know, you believe you got bit by something on your arm, you start to whelp up, and you really didn't. Like, those things happen. You believe that, you know, you have this particular, you know, thing wrong with you, and then you know, here it comes. So the mind and the body are like super powerful as far as that goes. And I don't think and belief is super powerful as far as that goes. So, I mean, it's like that documentary I was talking about, Marjo. These people believed that Marjo was inspired by God, that he was acting with the power of God. And when he would touch them, they believed it. So when he would touch them, they would fall out and have these experiences and speak in tongues and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it was their own minds doing that. You know, it wasn't God causing them to collapse and speak in tongues. That's how powerful their belief, their mind is, you know, that it would cause them to do those things and then believe it. Because the guy was an atheist. I mean, you know, he was admittedly an atheist behind the scenes. But these people believed that he wasn't. They believed what he said, and they were affected by it very powerfully, you know, by his touch even. So it's a powerful thing. And I think you are more powerful than you think you are. I think you're so much more powerful than you think you are, you know?
Well, that's kind of what I'm figuring out. Like, I've been going through a journey and really trying to explore things. I'm coming, you mentioned manifesting, and I don't know if you would agree or disagree with the comment, but for me, it's just telling myself over. So you talk about conditioning. I'm conditioning my brain to believe that this is going to change for me. That I will eventually say this enough, my brain will focus on that and route itself. So So that's kind of, you know, I believe in grounding, taking my bare feet to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by that. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant by that when you made that comment last time. And okay, yeah, I love to go out and barefooted and feel just, you know, that connection. Yeah.
But there's science behind that. It's not just you don't have to believe as in like, oh, there's a God. No, that's science.
Yeah.
Frequency. The bigger the frequency, the bigger you draw it in. You know, the strongest frequency there is authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, this is all proven.
Yeah.
So the whole concept of all being one in unison, like I get all that, and that's why. I mean, I left religion a long time ago. Like, I grew up Catholic, but I understood why you had to tithe. Well, because we got to keep the lights on. So if you're in the service,
right.
This church is providing you.
Right.
To keep that service open. It's very simple. The things that were obstacles for a lot of people weren't obstacles for me.
Yeah.
You know, or I can make logical sense out of it. Like, you know, they say the Eucharist, this is the blood and you know, the body of Christ. And I'm like, well, let's think about that. If you're telling me that I have to believe this, so if I should follow you, being that I believe this, I have to produce, you know, cannibalism.
Yeah, right.
So then I'm like, okay, no, I can justify this in this way.
Yeah.
When you're a warrior tribe and you attack another tribe, they would eat their brains and testicles to be smarter and braver.
Right,
and so,
right, yeah.
So I was like, okay, we're going to eat the blood and blood of Christ, and we want to, consume his power. So
Yeah.
I was just trying to make any kind of sense of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Make any sense.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been on this journey a long time. So I never, the Trinity, you can't be the Father and Son and God. Like, this doesn't even make sense. So I went to God because I'm like, okay, I want to go to the source. Like, why do I want to go into Pastor and Son? Because, you're a human and a God. Like, it makes no freaking sense. So everything got blown away. But I felt filled with the Spirit. But you could justify that as I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I just want to help people. And I
Right.
just want to love people.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. So maybe it's more of a love language kind of thing. Where
Yeah.
This is how I choose to express myself.
Yeah.
And that brings me joy. So I continue to do it until you tell me that you're not appreciative of this way. And then I respectfully will change it to accommodate you or to stop.
Yeah.
So all these things I can play out on my head very logically. There's very few things, but the whole concept there's no God, and I'm really like that one. It's so interesting to me because like as I think about it, you're maybe it makes a lot of sense. It's choices.
Yeah.
The only thing that like another thing, not saying the only thing, another thing that's in my way is personality. So I get it. We're animals, so we reproduce. That's that's not God. That's biology. You give birth. That's biology. But you are created, as they say, his likeness, which again, not debatable.
Yeah.
Your personality, we're all different, so people maybe would attribute that. Different people have different talents, and so on.
Yeah, sure. So and so what's what about personality that is kind of like the thing?
Well, how do you prove where it comes from, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know the science behind it is the problem.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, personality comes from certain hormones that are mixed in certain
Oh,
ways?
right.
That's how it scientifically plays out.
Yeah.
That's the part, like, I might not just know the science.
Yeah, sure. A lot of it's genetic, but I mean, personality is made up of all kinds of different things and streams, right? Because you've got, your personality is affected whether you have eyes or not, whether you can see or not. Your personality is affected whether you can hear or not, right?
Adopted children, their personality's mine.
Yeah, right. So it's all. There's so many different streams flowing into us, creating this personality, this ego, right? This person, yeah, and.
Like, I always have this analogy where, like, we grew up with our parents' stuff packed in a suitcase.
Yeah.
So when we realized, we opened the suitcase on our bed and we unpacked the suitcase. And we're like, you know what? Okay, Mom and Dad, I'll take this one and this one and this one, but I'm not taking those. It wouldn't fit anymore. But I still want to try these things, so I'll put it all back in the suitcase.
Yeah.
I'll carry that suitcase around.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I will open it and close it, and I will continue to look at the different things based on my new experiences. So that's kind of how I've explained my development. It's just like I'm open to these concepts, and the more I realize there's so much more to the quote universal experience in the matter and the atom. So there's so much more going on here. So much more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the when I see personality and think about personality, that's what it is. It's purely there's so many. There's just innumerable streams coming together. Basically, it's like all kinds of rivers coming in, forming a whirlpool, right? And the whirlpool is personality. That's personality. You take one of these streams away, and the whirlpool changes. It's going to change. The swirl's going to change. The force is going to change. So that's how I view personality, and I don't think it has anything to do with that. Being made in the image of God or likeness of God or anything like that. I think God's made in the likeness of us. I think we've made God in the image of us. That's why we see so many human emotions and things like that, and all the different gods. All the different gods, you can see humanity in that God, because we've made them in our image.
Every religion has the same story and ethics. They all have a Jesus. They all have a Muhammad and
Yeah.
John Smith.
They have their
all those
figure.
people.
Yeah.
And then it's like the Ten Commandments, which is like, duh, don't be a dick.
Right, man.
The person that's not cool. Like, why do I need you to tell me that? Like,
Yeah.
that's the problem too, because all the Bible's ever done is manipulate people into doing what they want.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it starts out, that they take everything that doesn't go with their agenda out of the Bible that was written 300 years after they've experienced it
Yeah.
by people that they can't even prove all of them even exist.
Right.
So, there it is. I don't know have you ever heard of Richard Carrier?
Yeah. And you mentioned him. Yes.
Yeah, he did TikTok, and there was this.
I meant to look that up.
Doing a conference reply. Amazing.
Oh, I need to look
He
at.
started just throwing out names of people, big names in the Bible, and he's like, no, maybe, probably, definitely, and then he was like, Christ did not rise from the dead.
Right.
He died.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason.
Yeah. To believe anything else. Yeah. Right.
So he's like sort of debunking it, but I'm like, this guy, legit, like yourself, very educated.
Yeah.
He's talking,
He knows his
like
stuff.
some bum off the road. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah, he's a scholar.
To believe
Yeah.
that he's got a good, resume that's proof to me that, again, reason to believe.
Yeah.
Proof that he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah. Right.
I'll research it now.
Exactly.
Because that's easier for me, because that's how I think.
Yeah.
So if you haven't noticed, so that's just the way it's the things I've been thinking about.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah. I love it. And I'm gonna look his those TikToks up as well, because I was actually I came across Richard Carrier not too long ago, and I was looking at a book of his that I was curious about and thinking about reading, and I can't remember what it was.
It was like the Christosity or something.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I'm gonna look it up again, and I'm gonna look at his TikToks as well. So.
Yeah, he's real good. The other thing that you got me thinking about. So if you are in the experience, and I totally get that,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't matter what's going to happen, and it doesn't matter what did happen. It
Yeah.
happened, and
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to happen. So,
Yeah.
whatever. But then it's like, so if there is no, forward or backward, if you will, there's no heaven or hell, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I don't know. I'm going there. There's no way to prove it. So what's
Yeah.
I believe it?
Yeah.
And so I should never make that a marker of morality.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
then I go back to my own personal morality based on experiences that negatively impacted me,
Right.
emotionally. So I change it, and that's another thing that I wanted your opinion on, just mental health.
Mhm.
I have a bunch, so
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I don't necessarily, attribute it to God or not. I just was curious how you felt about it.
Yeah. About mental health issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they exist, I think, it depends. I guess it depends on which ones we're talking about, because there are extreme mental health issues. There are more common mental health issues.
I have, I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
I have general anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
Depressive disorder.
Mm-hmm.
ADHD. And so I guess more what the question more is like, so why do you think those are experiences that made that happen? Or do you think that's a biological?
Oh, I think there are both of those things at play, for sure. But I think there are things that help, like being aware of the present. I think that helps tremendously, because I was man, I had so many issues, because growing up, man, I really had some wild upbringing. I won't go into detail, but there were things really, really hard in my life growing up that I had to live through that were very hellacious. They were, there were very terrifying times in my life growing up that affected me in so many different ways. And so for many, many years too, I kind of, I don't know if I am whatever, bipolar, but I was always either up or down, and I was constantly battling depression. Deep, deep, dark depressions, and going up and down. And I can say that where I am now today is very different than where I was, several years ago with all those kinds of things. And for me, in my experience, because I know that it had so much to do with my experience for me being that way in the past, but also I think there was genetics to play it as well, because I can see the same kinds of tendencies in one of my parents, that I had. But so there's both, I think, at work there. But for me now, what has had a huge effect on me is, again, like what I talk about a lot, is just being so fully aware of this moment right here as a happening. And here's a big thing for me, like playing a witness, right? So like just kind of witnessing everything take place. So kind of taking a step back from being like this character and having so much worry and anxiety and so many things that I have to do and that must happen. And if I can take a step back from that character and just kind of watch it all, and kind of, this is going to sound funny, man, but I love the analogy, and it really has helped me. And I think a lot of people that I've talked to about it, but almost like thinking of yourself as the sky, right? And all of the anxieties and all of the problems and the worries and the thoughts and all that kind of stuff as clouds passing, right? And just realizing that, okay, this is a cloud. This worry that I'm having right now, I'm going to take a step back. I'm the sky. That worry is a cloud. It's going to pass, and there's nothing wrong with it. There are no bad clouds. It's not like this is a bad thing. I'm just going to watch it as it floats by out of, eventually it's going to fade off and it's going to dissipate. And I remain the sky. I remain here right now in this moment as all these clouds are passing by and these thoughts are passing by. And I can, in a way, get into this witness frame of mind where I'm watching these things take place. And even you can take this in so many ways. I mean, you can watch yourself having conversations with people and not be so fully invested so that it becomes anxiety. Like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I saying the right thing? Even on that level, you can kind of just go, I'm going to let this happen. I'm going to watch it happen. My brain is going to function the way it needs to function. My brain knows what to say. It knows what to go through my, put through my mouth. I trust my heart to beat, don't I? I can trust my brain to think. I don't have to just sit here and worry and stress myself out. I'm just going to let this play out and happen as the energy of the universe, as existence, waving as the ocean of being, right? I'm going to let all these waves, thank you for the rose, I'm going to let all these waves just roll on and take form and rise and fall. You know what I mean? So if you can think in terms of those analogies, but like experience reality as those analogies, I think it helps tremendously. And now I think going through all those kinds of practices that I just kind of, I just thought in those terms for so long. Now I really am at a place where it's just like, it's all happening. Like I experience myself as one, I really do. Like I experience everything as one, and I still have emotions. I go through hard times. I get mad, I get sad, I get happy, all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is human. I'm a human being. But I also have this like this continuous awareness that it's all a happening, that it's just all, it's all going on,
The curious thing about this that you trigger when you say that is like, I can see, I'm a good visual thinker too, so there's two things.
Nice.
Like, okay, in this moment, who do I want to be?
Yeah.
So, if, it's like, how am I acting in this moment that I would maybe want to change, in what way, good, bad, or indifferent, is there some, so living in that moment is, everybody's like, oh, I'm free and I'm happy. No, it's not about butterflies and rainbows and hopping around. It's
right.
Like, no, I am in the moment as in I am present, really understanding. It's more like an awareness.
That's it. It is.
Conscience of what's going on. So
Yeah.
okay, and honestly, all I see is little drops of sunshine that I can sprinkle around my house. I can stop here, and in this moment, I can make this a positive experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, that was an interesting, concept.
Yeah.
I
Well, before we go on to the next one, I was going to tell you, I mean, just in the last month, I've experienced, just on a personal level, in the last month, I've experienced so much pain, like in various ways, right? And for 2 weeks, I was in excruciating pain. And I had a lot of moments of clarity in that pain. Yeah, it was hell. It was horrible. But I also had these moments of just like witnessing the pain as a happening and as a cloud. And it's tremendous how helpful and like practical and pragmatic that is, and how helpful it is in the moment. Because I mean, I was in misery. I mean, absolute misery. But it, having the understanding that I have, even with like physical pain, was incredibly helpful for me. I would get exhausted. It would hurt. No, I mean, I'm a human being again, but just having that awareness of it, and I could investigate the pain, you know what I mean? And like watch it and experience it in this moment, and not, I would think of it and try not to be like judgmental about it. It sounds weird. I would try not to make it, I would try not to say that it's good or bad. I would just be like here with it in this moment, and there was nothing to compare to. If I'm in this moment, I can't compare it to anything else. So it would help just having that mentality, in the present moment was super helpful. What were you going to say?
No, well, the thing that I visualize is like, I struggle with anger, and so I found ways to work it out, but so I don't have that problem anymore. But like one day I was sitting, and we had this huge 7.5 foot round table, and I envisioned like you would the panning out of like Mickey's Christmas, and you see everybody in there, and I was like, what is my pan out going to look like? My pan out could be a positive, happy, loving experience. Everybody's doing board games, or it could be a terrible experience. Everybody's yelling, and the table's this and this and this. So it's like, to me, that's like you said, it's powerful.
Yeah.
It changes your perspective.
Yeah.
And it may not come right away. It may not come for a couple of years.
Right.
You're on this path now. You're thinking.
Yeah.
And you're accessing and bringing things into you. And as you say them, whether they happen or not, I feel like you're just putting yourself there, like you said, in that moment. And I think you can be in this moment thinking about that moment.
Yeah.
That's part of it too. And it's just like existence, like you said. It's just we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right.
Yeah.
Busted. For sure. Yeah. And it's super practical too. It's like, it's practical. Like it is, it makes sense of the moment as well, and it makes sense in the moment.
Yeah. Well, and then I think you can almost choose your experience in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I choose to experience this negatively.
Yeah.
Or I choose to experience this positively.
That's right. That's right.
I choose to look at, my past experience to because I find it important to look at your past in a new lens. Because when I got diagnosed bipolar, I look back at my life and there are just those memories for some stupid reason get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And it's like the most random thing that's irrelevant, but it was like these embarrassing moments. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before it never made sense. So I think it's important to look back at just these, because you have new knowledge, so you can almost re-experience that.
Yeah, kind of retell it.
Mm-hmm. So
Reinterpreting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that's why I keep on pushing myself. Like I watch a lot of motivational speakers on TikTok, and financial people and people like yourself, and people who talk about the things that I deal with, like me and my son's autistic, and I have a very eclectic family. I have two black adopted children who are full biological siblings adopted at birth.
Yeah.
Wild. And then I have a biological daughter, and it's just the way me and my wife.
Very eclectic.
Yes, and it's just my wife is the income. I stay at home with my kids.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do things traditionally.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like it's my responsibility as a father to know about all these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Know about the racial issues and this and that and the other thing.
Right.
Issues. So
Right.
like I'm kind of going off path, but the point would be for me.
No, that's good.
Is, the experience I'm experiencing the experience. If you
Yeah,
will. Like,
yeah.
What I need to know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Well, man, I'm not going to be on much longer, so I'm going to let maybe one or two more guests on
Absolutely, man.
and then get some sleep. I love it, man.
Some knowledge.
Love it, dude. I love it. I love this conversation, and I love you, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Definitely.
Talking again.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely. All right.
Right.
Thanks. All right. What's going on in the comment section here? I see Tasha and Bustin, but I haven't seen what's going on. Did somebody have a question for me or something? Tasha, Bustin? Your picture's not on. My picture's not on. Am I froze up? Am I froze up? Or am I all good? I think my YouTube, I keep losing my YouTube stream connection for some reason. Pull me up, coach. Oh, it's working for you. Okay. I am froze up for you, Gene? Oh, weird. Everybody else says I'm good. I wonder if it's maybe your connection. That guy. Okay. I'm not going to be on much longer. But let's see. Yes. Oh. Darknado doesn't want to hear from us. What was your question, Darknado, before I bring you up? What do you want to ask? So at the end of the day, you're in total control. You can see it that way. Or you could see it. You could say I'm in total control, or that it's all happening, and I don't have to even worry about it. Yeah, either way. You could see it either way. Pull me up, brother. Don't be shy. Well, that kind of lets me know when what's wanting to be said. The way things are worded. Oh, you love my shirts? Thanks, Voice Razor. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody go to rickquestions.com. I do have shirts there that you can get. I design stuff all the time and throw it up. Oh, a parrot. Yeah, that's what I figured. But I also write a lot of things on rickquestions.com. I don't want to forget to plug my site, because I do try to direct a lot of traffic to my site because I write things. And so I've written a lot of posts, and don't be afraid. Dude, you don't know me very well. So the last post I posted, for instance, was called Frequently Asked Questions, right? And I just go over a lot of questions that people ask me all the time in my lives. Do you believe in God? I answered that quickly. Do you meditate? I answered that. Why did you leave Christianity? I answered that briefly. What do you believe? Do you have any book recommendations? So I kind of gave some book recommendations there. I also have a book recommendations page. I just have one question. Well, then ask your question in the comments so I know what it is. If you only have one question. What happens when we die? So I talked about that. Also, let's see. What was before that? If you're interested, I posted a post called Matthew 24 and the Coming of Jesus. And I explained why the Gospels do not teach that Jesus is going to come in the future. That the Gospels actually are interpreting the events that took place around 70 CE with the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans. Do you have a book? I need to, but I have a lot of posts that I've written. So you can read them there, but I do need to write a book. I want to put a book together. The more I hear that, the more it really just makes me want to do it. Let's see. I was working through the Shin Shin Ming, which is a Zen text. I have a post in there from January 19th called "Why I'm No Longer a Christian." I speak like a gentleman. Well, as a gentleman, just ask your question in the comment. If you just have one question. A post called "Beyond the Dance of Atheism and Theism." I kind of explain why I don't label myself, why I don't use labels. I don't feel the need. I transcend labels, really, when it comes down to it. I don't have any labels because I transcend labels. So I kind of explain that. So I write about all kinds of things. Living in the present. There's a post called "Living in the Present." What does that truly mean? How do we live in the present? What is that? 42 in the end of all questions. Why my name is Rick Questions Things, but I really honestly don't have any questions. I really don't. I don't have any questions. Questions are, at some point in your awareness and understanding, questions become irrelevant. Well, Darknado, if you don't want to be disrespectful, just ask your question, and then I'll decide if I want to let you up or not. Okay, let's see. You question having questions. You question having questions. When Darknado, the thing is, when you have a problem with my friends and they have a problem with you, it's hard for me to want to let you up, to be honest with you. And when you don't ask your question when I'm asking you, just ask your question. You do need... thanks, man. I appreciate the team bracelets. Oh, here's a question. Did you miss the church? And if so, what areas do you miss? So I don't miss church, but what I did have as a pastor, because at the very end, well, not the very end, the last few years, I got involved with the house church movement. And so I was a pastor of a house church, and I was a house church planter basically, and we had this super tight, close-knit community. I mean, it was very, very super close and tight-knit. We don't even know each other. Super close and tight-knit. And so our community we had was very familial, and it was like a big family. We spent just all the time together. We spent so much time together. Our lives together. We shared everything. We just had so much togetherness, right, and community. And so I think that was one thing that was hard for me to come to terms with after leaving Christianity, was that lack of tight-knit community that I had. But we might be best friends. Well, maybe, if you ask your question. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Angie. I appreciate you very much. No, to be honest with you, I'm getting really sleepy. When I get really sleepy, I start to waver whether I'm going to have more guests or not. Are you not inviting anyone else up? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I really don't. No. Because I am getting sleepy. I just don't last as long as I used to on these lives. And, probably the reason is I haven't been drinking in so long. I'm taking a 60-day break from drinking. You get tired too. You get tired. Shit makes me so tired. Yeah, I know. Do you sense less unity now? No, not now. Not now. No. The truth is, I mean, right now, I sense more of a unity than I ever have, with or without community. And that's just the truth of it, because of my awareness of reality. When the truth is, I know that there is existence and that everything is inseparable from anything else. So it is all one. It truly is all one. It's all one energy, one universe, one existence, however you want to put it, one ocean of being. It's all one, and it's inseparable. It's all this inseparable process of energy. This whole process, this whole thing is inseparable. Anything out there, separation, I haven't spoken about it very much tonight like I usually do. But I'd go off 2 hours ago. Yeah, one love, right? That's another good phrase, good way to put it. The greatest illusion that exists is the illusion of separation. That is the cause of all pain and suffering and sorrow and anxiety. When you believe yourself to be separate from everything else around you, that in and of itself is an enormous source of pain and suffering. And if you experience that illusion disintegrate and start to fall apart, and you experience yourself as existence itself in this moment, then you experience the greatest sense of unity you could ever possibly experience, because you know yourself and experience yourself to be everything else that exists, because it is all one existence. There is no separation. You can't be. It's all connected. How can it not be? Right. Exactly. That's right, Dalt. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, he has been saved of suffering from the illusion of reality. You're right. I explain what's happening in the music industry. Because he wants to say, can't be an X if you aren't saying right. Yeah. Is that what what's his name wants to ask, wants to say you can't ever be lost if you're truly saved. Can't be X. Priscilla, yeah, there's a lot of harmful, the thing is, religion is bondage, and religion, when it comes down to it, is harmful in many, many ways. And like I was saying earlier, some people do, I don't have a goal. I'm not an evangelist for these. I don't have a goal. My goal is not to convert people, but what I do here, one, it's entertainment. I enjoy it. I enjoy these things. I enjoy talking about these things. Two, there are people out there who do need to hear these things from me, that are either going through a deconstruction process, or about to, or have gone through it, and they want to hear these things. They need to hear these things. There are other people who maybe they haven't even started going through a deconstruction process, but when they hear these things, it resonates somehow deeply, and they become aware in a way that they weren't before, right? That is amazing. But there are a lot of people who don't need to hear these things. They're going to believe what they believe no matter what ever comes across their path, and that's okay. I don't judge them. I know what they're going through. I've been there. They have every right to scroll on too. So I don't have an evangelistic, purpose about the things that I talk about. I just know that it's a happening that others will resonate with and find truth in, and find reason to go on their own journey, their own path of self-discovery and realization. That's really what it comes down to, is, are you walking your own path, or are you walking the path handed to you? Are you walking a path that has to be believed, and you believe the beliefs of other people, right? That's the path that most people walk. It's a path handed to them. It's a path that they believe based on the beliefs of other people, based on things they've been told. And I think, the most genuine thing you can do, the most sincere, genuine human thing you can do, is walk your own path. Let it all go. Drop belief. Let go of belief. Have true faith, which is letting go. Trust yourself to existence as existence. Let go of belief, and walk your own path in your own. On your own path. Go on your own path of self-discovery and self-realization. And that is the most rewarding thing you can do, because that's the path that will lead you to your true self. Ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I really? I don't want a God to tell me who I am, because that God has to be believed in. I don't want a book to tell me who I am, because that book has to be believed in. I don't want these doctrines to tell me who I am. I have to believe those things. I want to ask myself the question. I'm going to stop asking those things out there and turn around and ask myself, who am I really deep down? And I'm going to go on that path of self-discovery, find out who I am. And things help. You can read, and you can listen, and you can study, and take all those things in, and be eclectic about it all. Take in all these things in an eclectic way, but just ask yourself in light of those things, is this true? Who am I? Is this true what they say? Am I these things? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to discover that, no, those are just beliefs. Those are just beliefs, right? Oh, I'm a sinner. No, that's a belief. I am a saint. That's a belief. I am, a child of God. That's a belief. I'm a creation of God. That's a belief. 9 times out of 10, you're going to discover that these are beliefs. But when you go on your own self-discovery, your path of self-discovery, you will. I'm just trying to chill and have a conversation this Saturday night. My mental, man, I love you, dude. I appreciate you so much. I really appreciate you. I really do. Thank you, man. That was a great conversation. Have a good night. Tasha and Bustin, what did Dark NATO say that you guys were interacting with? Yeah, same here. It's good seeing you, my friend. Yeah, that's true, Priscilla. Gene, you leaving? Good night, my friend. What do you think is happening in the music industry? I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. When's the next live? Good question. I don't know. I mean, next Friday for sure. But I'm going to try to go live. Oh, you thought I was leaving, Gene? I'm going to try to go live if you ever felt guilty. Okay, gotcha. Okay. I'm going to try to go live during the week as well. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that, Dalt. But I'll go live Friday. If you can't tell, I'm fading fast. I'm so tired. But before I go, I'm gonna let Dark NATO up. Hey, my friend.
How you doing, bro?
Patiently waiting.
I was just patiently waiting. No conundrum, no nothing, bro. I see you live.
How you doing, man?
I see you chilling. That was it, bro. But I did have one question.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so you got the one that pointed out to me was there is no hell or devil. That was your statement, but my question is to you: do you believe there is a devil or no?
No.
And why do you think that?
So I just don't believe anything. I don't have any beliefs, right? And so it would take me believing that there's a devil, right? Because I can't know that there's a devil because the devil's not standing here. I don't see him. And so for me, I exist right here in this moment. This present moment is what exists. And so I don't experience a devil. I don't see a devil. In order for me to believe that a devil exists, I have to believe the beliefs of other people or believe something I've read in a book or something like that because I don't experience a devil. And if I'm existing right here in this moment, the concept of a devil is just irrelevant to me because it's unseen, unheard, unexperienced. It's just this moment is all that exists right here, right now. This existence is all there is. And in order for for me to think anything else, it would just have to be a belief. And I just don't believe in it.
Okay, so I'm asking another question.
I thought you had one question. No,
My bad.
I'll allow it.
I was just trying to get your attention, bro.
I'm just joking.
No, yeah, it's all good, bro. It's all good. So, do you believe in spirits?
No, I don't because me personally, I don't have the need to believe in that. I just don't feel the need to believe in that. I don't experience. It's the same conversation for me, like devil, demons, spirits, all those kinds of things. And like I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I am open-minded to anything. I really am. I'm an open-minded human being, right? And I used to believe in those things. I really did. I was a genuine, wholehearted Christian. I mean, I was sincere, absolutely sincere and genuine. I was a pastor for several years and just really, really believed. I got a Master's of Arts in Religion from Westminster Theological Seminary. I mean, I walked the walk and I really did believe it, yeah. But I just have come to a place where I don't believe anything. And so, again, with spirits too, I don't believe in that, because that would mean that there's something separate from this present moment that is out there, outside of this existence that I'm experiencing. And it would just, again, it would take a belief, so I could, if I would experience a spirit right here, right now, and nobody else would have to believe me, but for me, I wouldn't have to believe in a spirit if I experienced a spirit. I would know it then, right? So what I seek to do is not believe. I don't really seek to do it. I just don't believe anything. I just don't have any beliefs. But if Jesus stood next to me, I wouldn't have to believe in Jesus. I would know it. If a spirit stood next to me, or if Muhammad whoever it is, whatever it is, the devil, a demon stood next to me, I wouldn't have to believe in that. I would know it, because I would experience it in this moment, Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that does make sense. So now let me get a little bit deeper. Have you ever experienced anything outside of your body?
Outside of my body, like a spiritual experience outside of it, like an out of body experience, or? Oh, so okay, I'll tell you some stories, because there are things that I haven't been able to explain. I've told these stories on here before. So I used to live in these apartments here. I live in Galveston, Texas, and Galveston is supposedly one of the most haunted places on earth, because of the 1900 storm and all the death that's been on this island, and all those kinds of stories. But I was living in these apartments when I first moved to Galveston years ago. And the apartments used to be, it's an old historical building that used to be a hospital during like war times, right? So Civil War and World War I, World War II. So it always existed as a hospital. Not that there was war, during the Civil War there was war here, but anyway, there's an incinerator in the back and all kinds of stuff, man. But these apartments, I didn't know, but these apartments were supposedly really haunted, and I didn't know that moving into them. Well, I was up on the second floor, because there were a couple of stores. It was a stacked apartment, right? So I was on the second floor of my apartment, and I was sitting on the floor in the bedroom with the door closed and locked, and I was wrapping Christmas presents for my kids, right? So I'm sitting there wrapping these presents, and everybody I thought was downstairs. Well, all of a sudden, my doorknob right here starts to rattle, right? It's like somebody's trying to get in. And I was like, hang on, I'm wrapping your presents. You can't come in. And it was rattling, and I said, hey, you can't come in. I'm wrapping your presents. And it kept rattling, and I unlocked it and opened the door, and nobody was there. So, that's a weird story that I just was like, what is going on, right? But that in and of itself isn't enough for me to like go, oh, there must be spirits or ghosts, because the rational mind starts to say,
you mean to tell me you experienced something, right? That you can't explain, and now you're telling me, oh no, that's. I need a little bit more.
Well, your rational mind starts to take over and goes, okay, well, there must have been a rattle, some vibration. There's the air. Maybe my mind blew it out of proportion, and it wasn't rattling as much as I thought it was. Thinking back, there's all those kinds of things that take place. So I'm left with the dilemma of believing, because I wouldn't know, but believing that my mind is accurately replaying that story and believing that it was something paranormal taking place. I would have to believe that, right? Right. So, because I also know that the mind, when it thinks about the past, even near past, like even yesterday or even this morning, thinking about the past, your mind begins to retell the past in different ways in the present moment, right? So details get mixed up and changed. Things get exaggerated, and your mind starts to retell these narratives in the present moment in different ways in every present moment. So like tomorrow, something I would be thinking about today that happened yesterday, tomorrow I may think it a little bit differently, right? 10 years from now, I may think about that same moment in that present moment 10 years from now, but retell it in things are going to get twisted and exaggerated, or I'm not going to remember them just right. You know what I mean? So things like that happen. And so it would take me believing multiple things in order for me to go, well, that was a ghost.
That's kind of tricky because, like, as far as you or anybody individual, like, people know what they go through.
Yeah.
It's like in the synapses, like, they know within their mind, like, they know. Like, it's ingrained.
Yeah.
Like, you can't forget, like, nobody, when I speak about forgetting shit, as far as, like, something that's big, you're not going to forget your big, like, say you graduated, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to forget that. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Memorize a lot of shit, bro.
But the details you would forget, right? Like even now, like thinking about my graduation from high school, it's been a long time now, and I remember very little. I really do. Something as big as that, I remember very little. I know that I graduated. I remember things, but the thing is, I'm having those memories in this present moment in 2024, right? So I'm not experiencing them as they happened, and I'm not experiencing them now happening. So what I am experiencing is a retelling of those things, and my mind filling in gaps, probably fictitiously. I don't know, like you don't know. But I'm retelling those things, and filling in gaps, and because I in all honesty, a lot of the detail is gone. It's missing. I just don't remember it.
No. You remember. It's a significant thing.
It's a moment that happened. I know that it. Yeah, I remember. I remember bits and pieces of it for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I'm talking about as far as supernatural type shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's there, but it's not there.
I'm open-minded. If something were to like appear to me, then I would, like I said, I wouldn't have to believe it. But there's just too much that I would have to believe that I just don't believe anything, right? I don't believe anything about it right now. So do I believe in spirits? Do I believe in ghosts? No. But that's not to say that I'm not open-minded. I don't believe aliens exist, and I don't believe they don't exist. I just don't believe anything about it, right? But I'm open-minded, and if a UFO,
Wait.
If-
That's the contradiction. So basically, you're telling me you don't believe anything without
I don't believe it at all. I don't.
anything outside yourself.
I would have to. No, I would have to believe that they exist, or I would have to believe that they don't exist. Both would have to be a belief, and to me, it's irrelevant. Until I know, it's just irrelevant. I don't even.
Okay, so are you telling me you don't believe in the supernatural or the reality that you live in?
I don't make a distinction between natural and supernatural or physical and spiritual. I think that's a separation that we pull things apart and create that separation.
That's not what it is. No. Everything is no. That's not what it is. Everything is joined together. Like we have our body.
Well, I
Mind.
think what you're asking, just let me know if I'm wrong, but do I believe in the unseen, like an unseen realm?
There's no wrong question.
Oh, okay.
Everybody got questions. So, yeah. What did you say again? Repeat that real quick.
Oh, are you asking me if I believe in like the unseen, like an unseen realm? If there's an unseen dimension or realm?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't, because again, it would be a belief that I would have to hold, and there's no reason. I find no reason to believe in it.
Okay. Let me go a little bit deeper then. So I'm asking this question: what do you believe in?
Nothing. I experience. Hold on. Here's what I'd answer. I don't believe in anything. I experience this moment. I experience this existence. I experience this being this moment right here, right now is what I experience, and that requires no belief.
No. So you do believe in something.
Mm-mm.
So you believe in existence, right?
No.
You're here right now. You're talking to me. I'm talking to you, right?
No, I don't have to believe that at all. Why would I have to believe that if it's something that's happening right here in this moment?
If I'm looking at you and you're looking at me and we're here within existence, you don't believe
No. Why would I believe it if it's happening and it's an experience I'm having, its existence right here, right now in this present moment? Belief means that I have to like hope or think something's true without knowing it. But what I know is this moment, this experience.
That's not it. That's called faith. That's faith.
I wouldn't define it like that at all. But
Reality is me talking to you and you talking to me right now, and me seeing you and you seeing me.
it's not. Why do I have to believe? Why do I have to believe that we're having a conversation if we're actually having a conversation?
Well, you said this is why I asked you if you believed in anything.
Right.
Right. So you said, oh no, you didn't say. I'm asking you a question, right? So I'm asking you, what are you conjoined within this? Like, what belief do you have as far as believing?
I know it's hard to think about because I don't know many people that say these things, but I don't have a belief. I really don't. And belief is not required for experience in this moment. There's no belief required. I don't have to believe anything.
Hang on. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask this last question, and I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna drop.
Okay.
You're gonna come up after me, okay? Do you believe in yourself?
I don't have to believe in myself. Why do I have to believe in myself? What again, if I am here in this moment existing, why do I have to believe that?
So you believe that do you believe that you are here right now?
No, I am.
So
I don't believe it. I am.
I am. So you are.
I am.
I am. You are.
I love this. I don't have to believe. I don't have to believe anything.
We're talking about believing.
Yeah,
right? We're talking
yeah.
about believing.
I don't have to believe anything because I am.
So your statement is I don't believe, but my question was, do you believe in yourself? And you said, why do I have to believe in
Yeah.
myself?
No, I don't believe in myself. I am.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna drop that note right there. Hey,
I love you too, man.
Hey, cheers, my nigga.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you came up. I appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah, yes, sir. I got you, my boy.
Good conversation. Good night. My psychedelic mind is fractalizing right now. I love that reaction. That was the greatest reaction. I am. I'm going to drop on that note. And thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you. That was awesome. Good conversation. I am, you are. I am, you are. Projecting, reflecting. All right. Who's still on with me? Oh, I don't know if I have it in me to go any longer. I am, Tasha. I noticed that I said that exactly when you commented it too. I am, so. Oh man, that was great. That was great. I am that I am. I am. What's up? Sup, dog? I like the name. Thank you. Yeah, the definition of belief is something accepted to be true, but not known. Do you feel the concept of no self? Well, I understand existence, right, as a whole, as an inseparable whole. And so the ego is something the all of existence is doing. It's a happening of existence, just like the heartbeat is a happening of existence, just like the sun shining is a happening of existence. And the ego, of course, has all kinds of streams flowing in to create it. So the ego is an illusion. The self, a separate individual self, is an illusion because nothing is separate. Nothing is separate. There is existence inseparable. It's one whole. It's the cosmic energy of the universe, of all things, taking form as this and that. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all the same existence. We're all the same energy. We're all the same Tao. We're all the same I am, whatever you want to call it. That's what we are. And separation is an illusion. So an individual separate ego, individual separate self, is a happening. It's a wave of the ocean of being. It's a happening of the universe. It's a form of energy, right? But it's all the same energy. It's all the same ocean of being. It's all the same universe. It's not separate. So it's all really illusion. Separation is illusion. It really is. Muji vibes. I haven't heard much Muji, but what I have heard from Muji, I like it. I just don't know a whole lot about him, but what I have heard from him, I really enjoy it. I haven't come across him in a long time though. House, even though a wall. A house. Oh yeah, even a wall is still a house, right? Yeah, I like that. Have you read Eckhart Tolle? Man, no, but everybody. I've been being told I need to read Eckhart Tolle for a long time, and I keep saying I'm gonna. I even have a book that I haven't read, and I'm very I read all the time. I just need to do it. Muji has Rastafarian roots, huh? I know he has dreadlocks. But I know Muji is all about non-duality. He has good videos on stillness. Nice. I mean, everything I've heard from Muji, I've really loved. So I need to check him out more. I think we're, guys like that, me, we're all saying the same thing, just with different words. Because words are words. Words can't quite get to the heart of anything, really. Words are razor blades slicing and dicing reality and separating everything out into bits and pieces. So it's really contradictory to use words to describe non-duality or something like that, because words slice and dice, but it's all we have to use when we're communicating with others on one level is words. So we do the best we can with words. Same thing in a different frame, right? Hey, Hannah. Yeah, I've been going live, a lot lately. I think the last time I went live, though, was last Friday. Usually I try to go live during the week, too, at least once. Good to see you, though. I've been on for a long time, over 3 hours, so I'm about to go. I'm exhausted. I've gotten really tired. What does it mean to be existence, and where does that belief come? Oh, it's not a belief, Jake. Okay, Tasha. Did you? Nice. I love you too so much. I love you guys. You and Austin are great. Yeah, I'm about to get off too as well, so I won't be far behind you. I love you. Have a good night. Sleep well. What experience brought you to the I am? So what what experience? I don't think it's one experience. I think it's been a journey and a path that I've been on for over a decade. But I do think, so I did go through, I took a break, and it wasn't a planned break or anything like that from everything. I just stopped everything for about 7 months. Thank you for the lightning. I stopped writing on rickquestionsthings.com. I stopped making videos. I stopped doing lives. I just stopped everything. And over that course of 7 months, I look back over this. I experienced a lot over those 7 months. And looking back over those 7 months, I came to this place where I realized, and I'd been at the place for a long time, but I think I just realized it, that I truly, my name is Rick Questions Things, but I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions. And I don't have any questions because questions to me, the kinds of questions that we typically ask are irrelevant. Because what is this moment right here, right now. And in this moment, all questions are irrelevant. Because if I am absolutely, totally, utterly aware of this moment, being this moment, not just in this moment, being this moment, existence as existence in this moment. Existence is this moment. This moment is existence. It's all there is. Then what questions does existence have? What questions could existence possibly have? What questions could the cosmic energy of all things possibly have? So I realized I have no questions because questions are irrelevant. Questions of the past, questions of the future, questions of reality. All questions become irrelevant at that point. Totally irrelevant. Oh, you're welcome, Erica. Thank you. All right. Well, I am definitely tired. I'm sleepy. But I could do this forever. But I think I'm going to head off. I'm going to knock off and get some sleep. And I'm going to try to go live. So my regularly scheduled live. Yeah, definitely, Dalt. Thank you. I love you, my friend. I usually go live every Friday, 9 p.m. Central. I wasn't able to go live last night, so I went live tonight instead. But I also try to go live every week, once during the week sometime, just a spontaneous live. Angie, good night. I appreciate you and love you. Thank you. So I'll go live during the week. Also, go to rickquestionsthings.com. So I write there. I publish posts every once in a while. I also have a lot of my creations, like shirts and stuff too, that I enjoy. You may not enjoy them, but I enjoy them. And so go to rickquestionsthings.com and catch me. I also put my announcements of when I'm going live on Rick Questions Things. Yeah, once I learned these things, I felt so free. Right, because it is freedom. It's absolute freedom. It really is. It's freedom. It's peace. It's bliss. Yeah, absolutely. So follow me. Go to rickquestionsthings.com, and you can subscribe on Rick Questions Things as well. Bedtime. Yeah, Jet. I know, dude. Hey, Serge. What's up, man? Jet, I love you, my friend, so much. Thank you for being here. Serge dips in. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you, man. I was just about to hop off. I'm just telling everybody good night, very slowly and sluggishly. But I love all you guys, and I appreciate you. No matter where you are, no matter what you believe or what you don't believe, I really do love you, and I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're here. Good night, Ron Nirvana. Good to see you again. I'm just looking at the comments real quick to tell people good night. Even Jesus Rick. Serge. Even Jesus Rick needs sleep. Needs rest. Oh, dude. I've been on for 3 hours and 12 minutes, man. And I've been sleepy for the last hour. All right. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you all very much. And I will see you probably Tuesday or Wednesday night. And If not then, I'll see you next Friday, 9 p.m. Central. Good night, Serge. Good night, everybody. I love you. And shoot me a message. Keep in touch. We'll talk soon. I'll see you soon. All right. I don't even know if my YouTube stream is working. It says YouTube is not responding. Well, if you're, I don't know if anybody's on here, but good night. And I appreciate you too. I think YouTube probably dipped out several times during the live. I think I lost connection a lot tonight on YouTube, but for some reason, I don't know why. Anyway, I might have to use another platform than OBS. OBS seems to be dropping connection a lot. All right, good night.